بسم الله والابن والروح القدس الاله الواحد امين. كان رجل في ارض عوس اسمه ايوب، وكان هذا الرجل كاملا مستقيما يتقي الله ويحيد عن الشر، وولد له 7 بنين و3 بنات، وكانت مواشيه 7,000 من الغنم و3,000 جمل و500 زوج بقر و500 أتان، وخدمه كثيرين جدا. فكان هذا الرجل أعظم كل بني المشرق. وكان بنوه يذهبون ويعملون وليمة في بيت كل واحد منهم في يومه، ويرسلون ويستدعون أخواتهم الثلاث ليأكلن ويشربن معهم. وكان لما دارت أيام الوليمة أن أيوب أرسل فقدسهم وبكر في الغد، وأصعد محرقات على عددهم كلهم، لأن أيوب قال: ربما أخطأ بني وجدفوا على الله في قلوبهم. هكذا كان أيوب يفعل كل الأيام. وكان ذات يوم أنه جاء بنو الله ليمثلوا أمام الرب، وجاء الشيطان أيضا في وسطهم. فقال الرب للشيطان: من أين جئت؟ فأجاب الشيطان: فأجاب الشيطان: من الجولان في الأرض ومن التمشي فيها. فقال الرب للشيطان: هل جعلت قلبك على عبد أيوب؟ لأنه ليس مثله في الأرض، رجل كامل ومستقيم يتقي الله ويحيد عن الشر. فأجاب الشيطان: هل مجانا يتقي أيوب الله؟ أليس أنك سيكت حوله وحول بيته وحول كل ما له من كل ناحية؟ باركت أعمال يديه فانتشرت مواشيه في الأرض. ولكن ابسط يدك الآن ومس كل ما له، فإنه في وجهك يجدف عليك. فقال الرب للشيطان: هو ذا كل ما له في يدك، وإنما إليه لا تمد يدك. ثم خرج الشيطان من أمام وجه الرب. وكان ذات يوم وأبناؤه وبناته يأكلون ويشربون خمرا في بيت أخيهم الأكبر، أن رسولا جاء إلى أيوب وقال: البقر كانت تحرث والأتن ترعى بجانبها، فسقط عليها السبئيون وأخذوها وضربوا الغلمان بحد السيف، ونجوت أنا وحدي لأخبرك. وبينما هو يتكلم إذ جاء آخر وقال: نار الله سقطت من السماء فأحرقت الغنم والغلمان وأكلتهم، ونجوت أنا وحدي لأخبرك. وبينما هو يتكلم إذ جاء آخر وقال: الكدانيون عينوا 3 فرق فهجموا على الجمال وأخذوها وضربوا الغلمان بحد السيف، ونجوت أنا وحدي لأخبرك. وبينما هو يتكلم إذ جاء آخر وقال: بنوك وبناتك كانوا يأكلون ويشربون خمرا في بيت أخيهم الأكبر، وإذ ريح شديدة جاءت من عبر القفر وصدمت زوايا البيت ال4، فسقط على الغلمان فماتوا، ونجوت أنا وحدي لأخبرك. فقام أيوب ومزق جبته وجز شعر رأسه وخر على الأرض وسجد، وقال: عريانا خرجت من بطن أمي، عريانا أعود إلى هناك. الرب أعطى والرب أخذ، ليكن اسم الرب مباركا. في كل هذا لم يخطئ أيوب ولم ينسب لله جهالة.
Again, there was a day when the sons of God came to present themselves before the Lord, and Satan came also among them to present himself before the Lord. And the Lord said to Satan, "From where do you come?" Satan answered the Lord and said, "From going to on the earth and walking back forth on it." The Lord said to Satan, "Have you considered my servant Job, that there is none like him on earth, a blameless and upright man, or one who fears God and shrugs evil, and still he holds fast to his integrity, although you incite me again to destroy him without cause." So Satan answered to the Lord and skins, "Yes, all that a man has he will give for his life. But stretch out your hand now and touch his bone and his flesh, and he will surely curse you to your face." And the Lord said to Satan, "Behold, he is in your hand, and spare his life." So Satan went out from the presence of the Lord and struck Job with a painful boils of soul to his foot, to the crown of his head. And he took from up himself a potsherd with which to spare himself while he sat in the midst of the ashes. Then his wife said to him, "Do you still hold the fast to your integrity? Curse the God and die." But he said to her, "You speak as one of a foolish woman speaks. Shall you indeed accept good from God, and shall we not accept adversity? In all the Job did not sin with his lips." Now when Job's 3 friends heard that the adversity had come upon him, each one came from his own place. Ephraim the Temanese, Bildad the Shrite, and Zophra the Numphite. For they had made an appointment together to come and mourn with him, and to comfort him. And when they raised his eyes from afar and did not recognize him, they lifted their voices and wept. To each one tore his robe and sprinkled dust on his head towards heaven. So when they sat down with him on the ground 7 days and 7 nights, and none once spoke one word to him, for they saw his grief was very great.
وبعد هذا فتح أيوب فاه وسبأ يومه، وأخذ أيوب يتكلم فقال: ليته هلك اليوم الذي ولدت فيه، والليل الذي قال قد حبل برجل. ليكن ذلك اليوم ظلاما لا يعتني به الله من فوق، ولا يشرق عليه نهار. ليملكه الظلام وظل الموت، ليحل عليه سحاب لترعبه كاسفات ظلمات النهار. أما ذلك الليل فليمسكه الدجى، ولا يفرح بين أيام السنة، ولا يدخلن في عدد الشهور. هو ذلك الليل يكن عاقرا لا يسمع فيه تاف، ليلعنه لاعنه اليوم المستعدون لإيقاظ التنين. لتظلم نجوم عشائه، لينتظر النور ولا يكن، ولا يرى هدب الصبح. لأنه لم يغلق أبواب بطن أمي، ولم يستر الشقاوة عن عيني. لما لم أمت من الرحم عندما خرجت من البطن؟ لما لم أسلم الروح؟ لماذا أعانتني الركب؟ ولما استدي حتى أرضى؟ لأني قد كنت الآن مضطجعا ساكنا، حينئذ كنت نمت مستريحا مع ملوك ومشير الأرض، الذين بنوا أهراما لأنفسهم، أو مع رؤساء لهم ذهب، المالئين بيوتهم فضة، أو كسقط مطمور فلم أكن، كأجن لم يروا نورا. هناك يكف المنافقون عن الشغب، وهناك يستريح المتعبون. الأسرى يطمئنون جميعا، لا يسمعوا صوت المسخر. الصغير كما الكبير هناك، والعبد حر من سيدي. لم يعطي لشقي نوره، وحياة لمرء النفس. الذي ينتظرون الموت ليس هو، ويحفرون عليه أكثر من الكنوز. المسرورين إلى أن يبتهجوا، الفرحين عندما يجدون قبرا. لرجل قد خفى عليه طريقه، وقد سيج الله حوله. لأنه مثل خبزي يأتي أنيني، ومثل المياه تنسكب زفرتي. لأني ارتعبت فأتاني، والذي فزعت منه جاء علي. لما أطمئن ولم أسكن ولم أسترع، وقد جاء الزجر.
Then Eliphaz the Temanite answered and said, If one attempts a word with you, will you become weary? But who can withhold himself from speaking? Surely you have instructed many, and you have strengthened weak hands. Your words have upheld him who was stumbling, and you have strengthened the feeble knees. But now it comes upon you, and you are weary. It touches you, and you are troubled. Is not your reverence your confidence, and the integrity of your ways your hope? Remember now, whoever perished of being innocent, or were the upright ever cut off? Even as I have seen, those who plough iniquity and sow trouble reap the same. By the blast of God they perish, and by the breath of his anger they are consumed. The roaring of the lion, the voice of the fierce lion, and the teeth of the young lions are broken. The old lion perishes for lack of prey, and the cubs of the lionesses are scattered. Now a word was secretly brought to me, and my ear received a whisper of it. In disquieting thoughts from the visions of the night, when deep sleep falls on men, fear came upon me and trembling, which made all my bones shake. Then a spirit passed before my face. The hair on my body stood up. It stood still, but I could not discern its appearance. Its form was before my eyes. There was silence. Then I heard a voice saying, "Can a mortal be more righteous than God? Can a man be more pure than his Maker? If he puts no trust in his servants, if he charges his angels with error, how much more those who dwell in houses of clay, whose foundation is in the dust, who are crushed before a moth? They are broken in pieces from the morning till evening. They perish forever with no one regarding. Does not their own excellence go away? They die even without wisdom."
ادعو الآن فهل لك من مجيب؟ وإلى أي القديسين تلتفت؟ لأن الغيظ يقتل الغبي والغيرة تميت الأحمق. إني رأيت الغبي يتأصل وبغتة لعنت مربضه. بنوه بعيدون عن الأمن وقد تحطموا في الباب ولا منقذ. الذين يأكل الجوعان حصيدهم ويأخذه حتى من الشوك ويشتفي الظمآن ثروتهم. إن البلية لا تخرج من التراب والشقاوة لا تنبت من الأرض. ولكن الإنسان مولود للمشقة كما أن الجوارح لارتفاع الجناح. لكن كنت أطلب إلى الله وعلى الله أجعل أمري. الفاعل عظائم لا تفحص وعجائب لا تعد. المنزل مطرا على وجه الأرض والمرسل المياه على البراري. الجاعل المتواضعين في العلا فيرتفع المحزونون إلى أمن. المبطل أفكار المحتالين فلا تجري أيديهم قصدا. الآخذ الحكماء بحيلتهم فتتهور مشورة الماكرين. في النهار يصدمون ظلاما ويتلمسون في الظهيرة كما في الليل. المنجي البائس من السيف من فمهم ومن يد القوي، فيكون للذليل رجاء وتسد الخطية فاها. هوذا طوبى لرجل يؤدبه الله فلا ترفض تأديب القدير، لأنه هو يجرح ويعصب، يسحق ويداه تشفيان. في 6 شدائد ينجيك، وفي 7 لا يمسك سوء. في الجوع يفديك من الموت، وفي الحرب من حد السيف. من صوت اللسان تختبأ، فلا تخافوا من الخراب إذا جاء. تضحك على الخراب والمجاعة ولا تخشى وحوش الأرض، لأنه مع حجارة الحقل عهدك ووحوش البرية تسالمك. فتعلم أن خيمتك آمنة وتتعهد مربضك ولا تفقد شيئا. وتعلم أن ذرعك كثير وذريتك كعشب الأرض. تدخل المدفن في شيخوخة كرفع الكدس في أوانه. ها إن ذا قد بحثنا عنه، كذا هو، فاسمعه واعلم أنت لنفسك.
Then Job answered and said, "Oh, that my grief were fully weighed and my calamity laid with it on the scales, for then it would be heavier than the sand of the sea. Therefore my words have been rash, for the arrows of the Almighty are within me. My spirit drinks in their poison, the terrors of God are arrayed against me. Does the wild donkey bray when it has grass, or does the ox lower over its fodder? Can flavorless food be eaten without salt, or is there any taste in the white of an egg? My soul refuses to touch them, they are the loathsome food to me. Oh, that I might have my request, that God would grant me the thing that I long for, that it would please God to crush me, that he would loose his hand and cut me off. Then I would still have comfort. Though in anguish I would exult, he will not spare, for I have not concealed the words of the Holy One. What strength do I have that I should hope? And what is my end that I should prolong my life? Is my strength the strength of stones, or is my flesh bronze? Is my help not within me, and is success driven from me? To him who is afflicted, kindness should be shown by his friend, even though he forsakes the fear of the Almighty. My brothers have dealt deceitfully like a brook. Look, like the streams of the brooks that pass away, which are dark because of the ice, and into which the snow vanishes. When it is warm, they cease to flow. When it is hot, they vanish from their place. The paths of their ways turn aside, they go nowhere and perish. The caravans of Tema look, the travelers of Sheba hope for them. They are disappointed because they were confident. They come there and are confused. For now you are nothing, you see a terror and are afraid. Did I ever say, bring something to me, or offer a bribe from me from your wealth, or deliver me from the enemy's hand, or redeem me from the hand of oppressors? Teach me and I will hold my tongue. Cause me to understand wherein I have erred. How forceful are right words, but what does your arguing prove? Do you intend to rebuke my words and the speeches of a desperate one, which are as wind? Yes, you overwhelm the fatherless. You undermine your friend. Now therefore be pleased to look at me, for I would never lie to your face. Yield now, let there be no injustice, yet concede my righteousness still stands. Is there injustice on my tongue? Cannot my taste discern the unsavory?
أليست حياة الإنسان جهادا على الأرض وكأيام الأجير أيامه كما يتشوق العبد إلى الظل وكما يترجى الأجير أجرته هكذا تعين لي أشهر سوء وليالي شقاء قسمت لي إذ اضطجعت أقول متى أقوم الليل يطول وأشبع قلقا حتى الصبح لبس لحمي الدود مع الطين جلدي تشقق وتقريح أيامي أسرع من المكوك وتنتهي بغير رجاء أذكر إن حياتي إنما هي ريح وعيني لا تعود ترى خيرا لا تراني عين ناظري عيناك علي ولست أنا السحاب يضمحل ويزول هكذا الذي ينزل إلى الهاوية لا يصعد لا يرجع يعد إلى بيته ولا يعرف مكانه بعد أنا أيضا لا أمنع فمي أتكلم بضيق روحي أشكو بمرات نفسي أبحر أنا أم تنين حتى جعلت علي حارسا إن قلت فراشي يعزيني مضجعي ينزع كربتي تريعني بالأحلام وترهبني برؤي فاختارت نفسي الخنق والموت على عظامي هذه قد ذبت لا إلى الأبد أحيا كف عني لأن أيامي نفخة ما هو الإنسان حتى تعتبره وحتى تضع عليه قلبك وتتعهده كل صباح وكل لحظة تمتحنه حتى متى لا تلتفت عني ولا تريحني ولا تخزيني ريثما أبلع ريقي أخطأت ماذا أفعل لك يا ركيب الناس لماذا جعلتني هدفا لك حتى أكون على نفسي حملا ولماذا لا تغفر ذنبي ولا تزيل اسمي لأني الآن أضطجع في التراب تطلبني فلا أكون
Then Bildad and Shuhai answered and said, How long will you speak these things, and the words of your mouth be like a strong wind? Does God subvert judgment, or does the Almighty pervert justice? If your sons have sinned against him, he has cast them away for their transgression. If you would earnestly seek God and make your supplication to the Almighty, if you are pure and upright, surely now he would awake for you and prosper your rightful habitation. Though your beginning was small, yet your latter end would increase abundantly. For inquire, please, of the former age, and consider the things discovered by their fathers. For we are but of yesterday, and know nothing, because our days on earth are a shadow. Will they not teach you and tell you, and utter words from their heart? Can the papyrus grow up without a marsh? Can the reeds flourish without water? While it is yet green and not cut down, it withers before any other plant. So are the paths of all who forget God, and the hope of the hypocrite shall perish, whose confidence shall be cut off, and whose trust is a spider's web. He leans on his house, but it does not stand. He holds it fast, but it does not endure. He grows green in the sun, and his branches spread out in his garden. His roots wrap around the rock heap, and look for a place in the stones. If he is destroyed from his place, then it will deny him, saying, I have not seen you. Behold, this is the joy of his way, and out of the earth others will grow. Behold, God will not cast away the blameless, nor will he uphold the evildoers. He will yet fill your mouth with laughing, and your lips with rejoicing. Those who hate you will be clothed with shame, and the dwelling place of the wicked will come to nothing.
فأجاب أيوب وقال: صحيح وقد علمت أنه كذا، فكيف يتبرر الإنسان عند الله؟ إن شاء أن يحاجيه لا يجيبه عن 1 من 1000، وهو حكيم القلب وشديد القوة، من تصلب عليه فسلم. المزحزح الجبال ولا تعلم، الذي يقلبها في غضبه، المزعزع الأرض من مقرها فتتزلزل أعمدتها، الآمر الشمس فلا تشرق، ويختم على النجوم، الباسط السماوات وحده، والماشي على أعالي البحر، صانع النعش والجبار والثرايا ومخادع الجنوب. فاعلم عظائم لا تفحص وعجائب لا تعد. هو ذا يمر علي ولا أراه، ويجتاز فلا أشعر به. إذا خطف من يريده، ومن يقول له ماذا تفعل؟ الله لا يرد غضبه، ينحني تحت أعوان رهب. كم بالأقل أنا أجاوبه واختار كلامي معه، لأني وإن تريثت لا أجاوب، بل أسترحم دياني. لو عدت فاستمع لي، لو دعوت فاستمع لي، لم أمنت به سمع صلواتي. ذلك الذي يسحقني بالعاصفة، وكثير جروحي بلا سبب، ولا يدعني أخذ نفسي، ولا يشبعني مرائر. إن كان من جهة قوة القوي يقول ها أنا ذا، وإن كان من جهة القضاء يقول من يحاكمني. إن تبرر يحكم على فمي، إن تبررت يحكم على فمي، وإن كنت كاملا يستذنبني. كامل أنا لا أبالي بنفسي، رزلت حياتي هي واحدة، لذلك قلت إن الكامل والشرير هو ينفيهما. إذا قتل الصوت بغتة يستهزئ بتجربة الأبرياء. الأرض مسلمة ليد الشرير، يغشى وجوه قضاته، وإن لم يكن هو فإذا من؟ أيامي أسرع من عداء تفر ولا ترى خيرا، تمر مع سفن البرد كنسر ينقض على قناصه. إن قلت انسي كربتي أطلق وجهي وأتبلج. أخاف من كل أوجاعي، عالما إنك لا تبررني. أنا مستذنب، فلماذا أتعب عبثا؟ ولو اغتسلت في الثلج ونظفت يدي بالأشنان، فإنك في النفع تغمسني حتى تكرهني ثيابي. لأنه ليس هو إنسان مثلي فأجاوبه، فنأتي جميعا إلى المحاكمة. ليس بيننا مصالح يضعه على كلينا، يرفع عني عصاه ولا يبغثني رأبه. وإذا تكلم ولا أخافه، لأني لست هكذا عند نفسي.
My soul loathes my life. I will give free course to my complaints. I will speak in the bitterness of my soul. I will say to God, do not condemn me. Show me why you contend with me. Does it seem good to you that you should oppress, that you should despise the work of your hands? and smile on the counsel of the wicked? Do you have eyes of flesh, or do you see as man sees? Are your days like the days of a mortal man? Are your years like the days of a mighty man? They should seek for my iniquity, and search out my sin. Although you know that I am not wicked, and there is no one who can deliver from your hands have made me and fashioned me. An intricate unity, yet you will destroy me. Remember, I pray that you know that you have made me like that clay, and will turn me into dust again. Did you not pour me out like milk, and curdle me like cheese? Clothe me in skin and flesh, and knit me together with bones and sinews. You have granted me life and favour, and your care has preserved my spirit. And these things you have hidden in your heart. I know that this was with you. If I sin, then you mark me, and will not acquit me of my iniquity. If I am wicked, woe to me. Even if I am righteous, I cannot lift up my head. I am full of disgrace. See my misery. If my head is exalted, you hunt me like a fierce lion, and again you show yourself awesome against me. You renew your witness against me, and increase your indignation toward me. Changes and war are ever with me. Why then have you brought me out of the womb? And that I had perished and no eye had seen me. I would have been as though I had not been. I would have been carried from the womb to the grave, and not my days few. Cease, leave me alone that I may take a little comfort, before I go to the place from which I shall not return, to the land of darkness and the shadow of death, a land as dark as darkness itself, as the shadow of death without any order, where even the light is like darkness.
فأجاب صوفر النعماني: أكثرة الكلام لا يجاوب، أم رجل مهزار يتبرر؟ أصلفك يفهم الناس أم تلغ وليس من يخزيك؟ إذ تقول تعليمي ذكي وأنا بار في عينيك، ولكن يا ليت الله يتكلم ويفتح شفتيه معك، وأنا لك خفايا الحكمة إنها مضاعفة الفهم، فتعلم أن الله يغرمك بأقل من إثمك. إلى عمق الله تتصل أم إلى نهاية القدير تلتهي؟ هو أعلى من السماوات، فماذا عساك أن تفعل؟ أعمق من الهوية، فماذا تدري؟ أطول من الأرض طوله، وأعرض من البحر. إن بطش أو أغلق أو جمع فمن يرده؟ لأنه هو يعلم الناس السوء ويكسر الإثم فهو لا ينتبه. أما الرجل ففارغ العديم الفهم، وكجحش الفراء يولد الإنسان. إن أعددت أنت قلبك وسطت إليه يديك، إن أبعدت الإثم الذي في يديك ولا يسكن الظلم في خيمتك، حينئذ ترفع وجهك بالعين وتكون ثابتا ولا تخاف، لأنك تنسى المشقة كمياه العبرة تذكرها، وفوق الظهيرة يقول حظك، الظلام يتحول صباحا، وتطمئن لأنه يوجد رجاء، تتجسس حولك وتضطجع آمنا، وتربط رأسا من يزك وتضرع إلى وجه الكثيرين. أما عيون الأشرار فتلف ملجأهم يبيت ورجعهم تسليم النفس.
Then Job answered and said, No doubt you are the people, and wisdom will die with you. But I have understanding as well as you. I am not inferior to you. Indeed, who does not know such things as these? I am one mocked by his friends, who called on God, and he answered him, the just and blameless who is ridiculed. A lamp is despised in the thought of one who is at ease. It is made ready for those whose feet slip. The tents of robbers prosper, and those who provoke God are secure, in what God provides by his hand. But now ask the beasts, as they will teach you, and the birds of the air, and they will tell you. Or speak to the earth, and it will teach you, and the fish of the sea will explain to you. Who among all these does not know that the hand of the Lord has done this? In whose hand is the life of every living thing, and the breath of all mankind? Does not the ear test words and the mouth taste its food? Wisdom is with aged men, and with length of days, understanding. With him are wisdom and strength. He has counsel and understanding. If he breaks a thing down, it cannot be rebuilt. If he imprisons a man, there can be no release. If he withholds the waters, they dry up. If he sends them out, they overwhelm the earth. With him are strength and prudence, and the deceived and the deceiver are his. He leads counselors away plundered, and makes fools of the judges. He loosens the bonds of kings, and binds their waist with a belt. He leads princes away plundered, and overthrows the Almighty. He deprives the trusted ones of speech, and takes away the discernment of the elders. He pours contempt on princes, and disarms the mighty. He uncovers deep things out of darkness, and brings the shadow of death to light. He makes nations great and destroys them. He enlarges nations and guides them. He takes away the understanding of the chiefs of the people of the earth, and makes them wander in a pathless wilderness. They grope in the dark without light, and he makes them stagger like a drunken man.
هذا كله رأته عيني، سمعته أذني وفطنت به. ما تعرفونه عرفته أنا أيضا، لست دونكم، ولكني أريد أن أكلم القدير وأن أحاكم إلى الله. أما أنتم فملفقوا كذب، أطباء بطالون كلكم. ليتكم تصمتون صمتا ويكون ذلك لكم حكمة. اسمعوا الآن حجتي واصغوا إلى دعاوي شفتي. أتقولون لأجل الله ظلما وتتكلمون بغش لأجله؟ أتحابون وجهه أم عن الله تخاصمون؟ أخير لكم أن يفحصكم أم تخاتلونه كما يخاتل الإنسان؟ توبيخا يوبخكم إن حابيتم الوجوه خفية. فهلا يرهبكم جلاله ويسقط عليكم رعبه؟ خطبكم أمثال رماد وحصونكم حصون من طين. اسكتوا عني فأتكلم أنا، وليصبني مهما أصاب. لماذا آخذ لحمي بأسناني وأضع نفسي في كفي؟ هو ذا يقتلني، لا أنتظر شيئا، فقط أزكي طريقي قدامه. فهذا يعود إلى خلاصي، أن الفاجر لا يأتي قدامه. سمعا اسمعوا أقوالي وتصريحي بمسامعكم. ها أنا إذا قد أحسنت الدعوة، أعلم أني أتبرر. من هو الذي يخاصمني حتى أصمت الآن وأسلم الروح؟ إنما أمرين لا تفعل بي، فحينئذ لا أختفي من حضرتك. ابعد يديك عني، ولا تدع هيبتك ترعبني. ثم ادعي فأنا أجيب، أو أتكلم فتجاوبني. كم لي من الآثام والخطايا؟ أعلمني ذنبي وخطيتي. لماذا تحجب وجهك وتحسبني عدوا لك؟ أترعب ورقة مندفعة وتطارد قشا يابسا؟ لأنك كتبت علي أمور مرة وورثتني آثام صباي. فجعلت رجلي في المقطرة ولاحظت جميع مسالكي، وعلى أصول رجلي نبشت، وأنا كمتسوس يبتلي كثوب أكله العث.
Man who is born of a woman is a few days and full of trouble. He comes forth like a flower and fades away. He flees like the shudder and does not continue. And do you open your eyes on such one and bring me the judgment with yourself? Can you bring a clean thing out of the unclean? No one. Since his days are determined, the number of months is with you. You have appointed this limit so that you cannot pass. Look away from that you may rest till like a hired man. He finishes his day. For there is hope for a tree. If it cuts down, that will sprout again, and that its tender shoots will not cease. Through its roots may grow old in the earth, and its stump may die in the ground. Yet at the scent of the water it will bud and bring forth branches like a plant. But man dies and is laid away. Indeed, he breathes his last, and where he is. As water appears from the sea, and a river comes parched and dries up, so man lies down and does not rise, till the heavens are no more. They will not awake nor from their sleep. Oh, that you may hide me in the grave, that you will counsel me until the wrath is past, that you would appoint me in set time, and remember me. If a man dies, shall he live again? All the days of my hard service, I will wait till my change comes. You shall call, and I will answer you. You shall desire the work of your hands. For now you number the steps, but do not watch over my sins. My transgression is sealed up in a bag, and you will cover my iniquities. But as a mountain falls, crumbles away, as a rock is moved from its place, as water wears away stones and torrents washes away from the soil of the earth, so you destroy the hope of man. You prevail forever against him and passes on. You change his countenance and sent him away. His sons come to honor, and he does not know it. They are brought low, and he does not preserve it. But his flesh will be plain over it, and your soul will mourn over it.
فأجابت أليفاز التيماني: لعل الحكيم يجيب عن معرفة باطلة ويملأ بطنه من ريح شرقية، فيحتج بكلام لا يفيد وبأحاديث لا ينتفع بها. أما أنت فتنافي المخافة وتناقض التقوى لدى الله، لأن فمك يذيع اسمك وتختار لسان محتالين. إن فمك يستذنبك، لا أنا، وشفتاك تشهدان عليك. أصورت أول الناس أم أبدأت قبل التلال؟ هل أصغيت في مجلس الله أو كسرت الحكمة على نفسك؟ ماذا تعرفه ولا نعرفه نحن؟ وماذا تفهم وليس هو عندنا؟ عندنا الشيخ والأشيب أكبر أياما من أبيك. أقليلة عندك تعزيات الله والكلام معك بالرفق. لماذا يأخذك قلبك ولماذا تختلك عيناك حتى ترد على الله وتخرج من فمك أقوالا؟ من هو الإنسان حتى يزكو، أو مولود المرأة حتى تبرر؟ هوذا قدسوه لا يأتي منهم، والسماوات غير طاهرة بعينيه، فبالحري مكروه وفاسد الإنسان الشارب الاسم كالماء. أبين لك، أسمع لي فأحدث بما رأيته، ما أخبر به حكماء عن آبائهم فلم يكتموه، الذين لهم وحدهم أعطيت الأرض ولم يعبروا بينهم غريب. الشرير هو يتلوى كل أيامه، وكل عدد السنين المعدودة للعاتي. صوت رعوب في أذنه، من ساعة سلام يأتيه المحرب. لا يأمل الرجوع من الظلمة وهو مرتكب السيف. تائه هو لأجل الخبز حينما يجده، ويعلم إن يوم الظلمة مهيئ بين يديه. يرهبه الضر والضيق، يتجبران عليه كملك مستعد للوعي، لأن مد الله على يده وعلى القدير تجبر. هاجما عليه متصلب العنق بتروسه الغليظة، لأنه قد كسى وجهه سمنا ورب شحما على كليتيه. فيسكن مدنا خربة، بيوتا غير مسكونة، عتيدة أن تصير رجما. لا يستغني ولا تثبت ثروته، ولا يمتد في الأرض مقتناه. لا تزول عنه الظلمة أغصانه، تيبسها سموم، وبنفخه فمه يزول. لا يتكل على السوء يضل، لأن السوء يكون أجرته. قبل يومه يتوفى، وسعى فهو لا يخضر. يساقط كالكرمة حصرمه، وينثر كالزيتون زهره. لأن جماعة الفجار عاقر، والنار تأكل خيام الرشوة. حبل وشقاوة وولد اسما، وبطنه أنشأ غشا.
Then Job answered and said, I have heard many such things. Miserable comforters are you all. Shall words of wind have an end, or what provokes you that you answer? I also could speak as you do. If your soul were in my soul's place, I could heap up words against you and shake my head at you. But I would strengthen you with my mouth, and the comfort of my lips would relieve your grief. Though I speak, my grief is not relieved. And if I remain silent, how am I eased? But now he has worn me out, you have made desolate all my company. You have shriveled me up, and it is a witness against me. My leanness rises up against me, and bears witness to my face. He tears me in his wrath and hates me. He gnashes at me with his teeth. My adversary sharpens his gaze on me. They gape at me with their mouth. They strike me reproachfully on the cheek. They gather together against me. God has delivered me to the ungodly and turned me over to the hands of the wicked. I was at ease, but he has shattered me. He also has taken me by the neck and shaken me to pieces. He has set me up for his target. His archers surrounded me. He pierces my heart and does not pity. He pours out my gall on ground. He breaks me with wound upon wound. He runs at me like a warrior. I have sewn sackcloth over my skin and laid my head in dust. My face is flushed from weeping, and my eyelids is a shadow of death. Although no violence is in my hands and prayer is pure. O earth, do not cover my blood, and let my cry have no resting place. Surely even now my witness is in heaven, and my evidence is on high. My friends scorn me, my eyes pour out tears to God. Oh, that one might plead for a man with God as a man pleads for his neighbor. For when a few years are finished, I shall go the way of no return.
روحي تلفت أيام انطفأت وإنما القبور لي لولا مختالون عندي وعيني تبيت على مشاجرتهم كن ضامني عند نفسك من هو الذي صفق بيدي لأنك منعت قلبهم عن الفطنة لأجل ذلك لا ترفعهم الذي يسلم لأصحاب السلب تتلف عيون بنيه أوقفني مثلا للشعوب وصرت لبصق في الوجه كلت عيني عن الحزن وأعضاء كلها كالظل يتعجب المستقيمون من هذا والبريء يقوم على فاجر أما الصديق فسيمسك بطريقه والظاهر اليدين يزداد قوة ولكن ارجعوا كلكم وتعالوا فلا أجد فيكم حكيما أيامي قد عبرت مقاصدي أرسل قلبي قد انتزعت يجعلون الليل نهارا نورا قريبا للظلمة إذا رجعت الهاوية بيتا لي وفي الظلام مهدت فراشي وقلت للقبر أنت أبي وللدوت أنت أمي وأختي فأين إذن أمالي مني عين تهبط إلى مغاليق الهوية إذ ترتاح معا إلى التراب.
Then Bildad and Shuhite answered and said, How long till you put an end to words, gain understanding, and afterward we will speak? Why are we counted as beasts and regarded as stupid in your sight? You who tear yourself in anger, shall the earth be forsaken for you, or shall the rock be removed from its place? The light of the wicked indeed goes out, and the flame of his fire does not shine. The light is dark in his tent, and his lamp beside him is put out. The steps of his strength are shortened, and his own counsel casts him down. For he is cast into a net by his own feet, and he walks into a snare. The net takes him by the heel, and a snare lays hold of him. A noose is hidden for him on the ground, and a trap for him in the road. Terrors frighten him on every side, and drive him to his feet. His strength is starved, and destruction is ready at his side. It devours patches of his skin. The firstborn of death devours his limbs. He is uprooted from the shelter of his tent, and they parade him before the king of terrors. They dwell in his tent who are none of his. Brimstone is scattered on his habitation. His roots are dried out below, and his branch withers above. The memory of him perishes from the earth, and he has no name among the renowned. He is driven from light into darkness and chased out of the world. He has neither son nor posterity among his people, nor any remaining in his dwellings. Those in the west are astonished at his day, as those in the east are frightened. Surely such are the dwellings of the wicked, and this is the place of him who does not know God.
فأجاب أيوب وقال حتى متى تعذبون نفسي وتسحقونني بالكلام هذه 10 مرات أخزيتموني لم تخجلوا من أن تحكروني وهبني ضللت حقا علي تستقر ضلالتي. إن كنت بالحق تستكبرون علي فثبتوا علي عاري. فاعلموا إذن أن الله قد عوجني ولف علي حبولته. ها إني أصرخ ظلما فلا أستجاب، أدعو وليس حكم. قد حوط طريقي فلا أعبر، وعلى سبلي جعل ظلاما. أزال عني كرامتي ونزع تاج رأسي. هدمني من كل جهة فذهبت، وقلع مثل شجرة رجائي. وأضرم علي غضبه وحسبني كأعدائي. معا جاءت غزاته وأعدوا علي طريقهم وحلوا حولي خيمتي. قد أبعد عني إخوتي ومعارفي زاغوا عني. أقاربي قد خذلوني والذين عرفوني نسوني. نزلاء بيتي وإمائي يحسبونني أجنبيا. صرت في عينهم غريبا. عبدي دعوت فلم يجب، بفمي تضرعت إليه. نكهتي مكروهة عند امرأتي، خممت عند أبناء أحشائي. الأولاد أيضا قد رزلوني، إذا قمت يتكلمون علي. كرهني كل رجالي، والذين أحببتهم انقلبوا علي. عظمي قد لصق بجلدي ولحمي، ونجوت بجلد أسناني. تراءفوا أنتم علي يا أصحابي، لأن يد الله قد مستني. لماذا تضاردونني كما الله ولا تشبعون من لحمي؟ ليت كلماتي الآن تكتب، يا ليتها رسمت في سفر ونقرت إلى الأبد في الصخر بقلم حديد وبرصاص. أما أنا فقد علمت أن ولي حي والآخر على الأرض يقوم. وبعد أن يفنى جلدي هذا وبدون جسدي أرى الله الذي أراه أنا لنفسي، وعيناي تنظران وليس آخر. إلى ذلك تطوق كليتي في جوفي. فإنكم تقولون لماذا نطارده، والكلام الأصلي يوجد عندي. خافوا على أنفسكم من السيف، لأن الغيظ من آثام السيف، لكي تعلموا ما هو القضاء.
Then Zophar and Naamathai answered and said, Therefore my anxious thoughts make me answer. Because of the turmoil within me I have heard the rebuke that reproaches me, and the spirit of the understanding causes me to answer. Do you not know this is of old, since man was placed on earth, that the triumphing of the wicked is short, and the joy of the hypocrite is but for a moment? Though his haughtiness mounts up to the heavens, and his head reaches to the clouds, yet he will perish forever like his own refuse. Those who have seen him will say, Where is he? He will fly away like a dream, and not be found. Yes, he will be chased away like a vision of the night. The eye that saw him will see him no more, nor will his place behold him any more. His children will seek the favour of the poor, and his hands will restore his wealth. His bones are full of his youthful vigour, but it will lie down with him in the dust. Though evil is sweet in his mouth, and he hides it under his tongue, though he spares it and does not forsake it, but still keeps it in his mouth. Yet his food in his stomach turns sour, it becomes cobra venom within him. He swallows down riches and vomits them up again. God casts them out of his belly. He will suck the poison of cobras. The viper's tongue will slay him. He will not see the streams, the rivers flowing with honey and cream. He will restore that for which he laboured, and will not swallow it down. From the proceeds of business he will get no enjoyment. For he has oppressed and forsaken the poor, he has violently seized a house which he did not build. Because he knows no quietness in his heart, he will not save anything he desires. Nothing is left for him to eat, therefore his well-being will not last. In his self-sufficiency he will be in distress. Every hand of misery will come against him. When he is about to fill his stomach, God will cast on him the fury of his wrath, and will rain it on him while he is eating. He will flee from the iron weapon. A bronze bow will pierce him through. It is drawn and comes out of the body. Yes, the glittering point comes out of his goal. Terrors come upon him. Total darkness is reserved for his treasures. An unfanned fire will consume him. It shall go ill with him who is left in his tent. The heavens will reveal his iniquity, and the earth will rise up against him. The increase of his house will depart, and his goods will flow away in the day of his wrath. This is the portion from God for a wicked man, the heritage appointed to him by God.
فقال أيوب اسمعوا قولي سمعا وليكن هذا تعزيتكم. احتملوني وأنا أتكلم بعد، وبعد كلامي استهزئوا. أما أنا فهل شكواي من إنسان، وإن كانت فلماذا لا تضيق روحي. تفرسوا في وتعجبوا وضعوا اليد على الفم. عندما أتذكر أرتاع وأخذ بشرى رعدة. لماذا تحيا الأشرار ويشيخون نعم ويتجبرون قوة. نسلهم قائم أمامهم معهم وذريتهم في أعينهم. بيوتهم آمنة من الخوف وليس عليهم عصا الله. ثورهم يلقح ولا يخطئ، بقرتهم تنتج ولا تسقط. يسرحون مثل الغنم رضعهم وأطفالهم تركض. يحملون الدف والعود ويطربون بصوت المزمار. يقضون أيامهم بالخير في لحظة ويهبطون إلى الهاوية. فيقولون لله أبعد عنا، وبمعرفة طرقك لا نصر. من هو القدير حتى نعبده، وماذا تنتفع إن التمسناه. هوذا ليس في يدهم خيرهم لتبعدوا عني مشورة الأشرار. كم ينطفئ سراج الأشرار ويأتي عليهم بؤارهم، أو يقسم لهم أوجاعا في غضبه، أو يكون كالتبن قدام الريح وكالعاصفة التي تصرفها الزوبعة. الله يخزن اسمه لبنيه، ليجازه نفسه ليعلم، لتنظر عيناه هلاكه، ومن حمة القدير يشربه. فما هي مسرته في بيته بعده، وقد تعين عند شهوره. الله يعلم معرفة، وهو يقضي على العالين. هذا يموت في عين كماله، كله مطمئن وساكن. أحواضه ملآنة لبنا، ومخ وعظامه طري. وذلك يموت بنفس مرة لم يذق خيرا. كلاهما يضطجعان معا في التراب، والدود يغشاهما. هوذا قد علمت أفكاركم والنيات التي بها تظلمونني. لأنكم تقولون أين بيت العاتي، وأين خيمة مساكن الأشرار. أفلم تسألوا عابر السبيل، ولم تفتنوا زلاتهم. إنه ليوم البوار يمسك الشرير، ليوم السخط يقاضون. من يعلن طريقه لوجهه، ومن يجازيه على ما عمله. هو إلى القبور يقاد، وعلى المدفن يسهر. حلو له طين الوادي، يزحف كل إنسان وراءه، وقدمه ما لا عدل له. فكيف تعزونني باطلا، وأجوبتكم بكت خيانة.
Then Eliphaz the Temanite answered and said, Can a man be profitable to God, though he who is wise may be profitable to himself? Is it any pleasure to the Almighty that you are righteous, or is it gain to him that you make your ways blameless? Is it because of your fear of him that he corrects you and enters into judgment with you? Is not your wickedness great, and your iniquity without end? For you have taken pledges from your brother for no reason, and stripped the naked of their clothing. You have not given the weary water to drink, and you have withheld bread from the hungry. But the mighty man possessed the land, and the honourable man dwelt in it. You have sent widows away empty, and the strength of the fatherless was crushed. Therefore snares are all around you, and sudden fear troubles you. Or darkness so that you cannot see, and an abundance of water covers you. Is not God in the height of heaven, and see the highest stars how lofty they are? And you say, What does God know? Can he judge through the deep darkness? Thick clouds cover him so that he cannot see, and he walks above the circle of heaven. Will you keep the old way, which wicked men have trod, who were cut down before their time, whose foundations were swept away by a flood? They said to God, Depart from us. What can the Almighty do to them? Yet he filled their houses with good things, but the counsel of the wicked is far from me. The righteous see it and are glad, and the innocent laugh at them. Surely our adversaries are cut down, and the fire consumes their remnant. Now acquaint yourself with him and be at peace. Thereby God will come to you. Receive, please, instruction from his mouth, and lay up his word in your heart. If you return to the Almighty, you will be built up. You will remove iniquity far from your tents. Then you will lay your gold in the dust, and the gold of Ophir among the stones of the brooks. Yes, the Almighty will be your gold, and your precious silver. For then you will have your delight in the Almighty and lift up your face to God. You will make your prayer to Him, He will hear you, and you will pay your vows. You will also declare a thing, and it will be established for you. So light will shine your ways. When they cast you down and you say, exaltation will come, then He will save the humble person. He will even deliver one who is not innocent. Yes, he will be delivered by the purity of your hands.
فقال أيوب: اليوم أعد شكواي تمرد، ضربتي أثقل من تنهدي، من يعطيني أن أجده فآتي إلى كرسيه، أحسن الدعوة أمامه وأملأ فمي حججا، وأعرف الأقوال التي بها يجيبني وأفهم ما يقوله لي، وكسر القوة يخاصمني كلا، ولكن كان يتنبه إلي، هنالك كان بحاجة المستقيم، وكنت أنجو إلى الأبد من قضية. أنا أذهب شرقا فليس هو هناك، وغربا فلا أشعر به، شمالا حيث عمله فلا أنظره، يتعاطف الجنوب فلا أراه، لأنه يعرف طريقي، إذا جربني أحرج كالذهب، وخطواته استمسكت رجلي، حفظت طريقه ولم أحد، من وصية شفتي لم أبرح، أقسم من فريضتي أقرت كلام فمي، أما هو فوحده فمن يرده، ونفسه تشتهي فأفعل، لأنه يتمم المفروض علي، وكثير مثل هذا عنده، من أجل ذلك ارتاع قدامه، أتأمل فارتعب منه، لأن الله قد أضعف قلبي، والقدير روعني، لأني لم أقطع قبل السلام، ومن وجهه لم يعد الدجى.
Since times are not hidden from the Almighty, why do those who know Him see not His ways? Some remove landmarks, they seize flocks violently and feed on them. They drive away the donkey of the fatherless, they take the widow's ox as a pledge. They push the needy off the road, all the poor of the land are forced to hide. Indeed, like wild donkeys in the desert, they go out to their work, searching for food. The wilderness yields food for them and for their children. They gather their fodder in the field and glean in the vineyard of the wicked. They spread the night naked without clothing and have no covering in the cold. They are wet with the showers of the mountains and huddle around the rock for want of shelter. Some snatch the fatherless from the breast and take a pledge from the poor. They cause the poor to go naked, without clothing, and they will take away the sheaves from the hungry. They press without oil within their walls, and tread wine presses, yet suffer thirst. The dying groan in the city, and the souls of the wounded cry out, yet God does not charge them with wrong. There are those who rebel against the light. They do not know its ways nor abide in its paths. The murderer rises with the light. He kills the poor and needy, and in the night he is just like a thief. The eye of the adulterer waits for the twilight, saying, no one will see me, and he disguises his face. And in the dark they break into houses which they marked for themselves in the daytime. They do not know the light. For the morning is the same to them as the shadow of death. If someone recognizes them, they are in the terrors of the shadow of death. They should be swift on the face of the waters. Their portion should be cursed in the earth, so that no one would turn their way into the vineyards. As drought and heat consumes the snow waters, so the grave consumes those who have sinned. The womb should not forget him. The womb should feed sweetly on him. He should be remembered no more, and the wickedness should be broken like a tree. For he preys on the barren who do not bear, and does not do good for the widow. But good draws the mighty away with his power. He rises up, but no man is sure of life. He gives them security, and they rely on it, yet his eyes are on their ways. They are exalted for a little while, then they are gone. They are brought low. They are taken out of the way like all others. They dry out all the heads of grain. Now if it is not so, who will prove me a liar, and make my speech worth nothing?
فأجاب بلدة الشوح وقال السلطان والهيبة عنده، هو صانع السلام في أعاليه. هل من عدد لجنوده؟ وعلى من لا يشرك نوره؟ فكيف يتبرر الإنسان عند الله؟ وكيف يسكو مولود المرأة؟ هو ذا نفس القمر لا يضيء والكواكب غير نقية في عينيه. فكم بالحرية الإنسان الرمة وابن آدم الدود.
But Job answered and said, How have you helped him so is without power? How have you saved the arm that has no strength? You have counseled one who has no wisdom. And how have you declared the sound advice to many? To whom have you uttered words? And those spirits came from you. The dead tremble, those under the waters and inhabiting them. Sheol is naked before him, and destruction has no covering. He stretches out the north over the empty space. He hangs on the earth on nothing. He binds up the waters in his thick cloud, yet the clouds are not broken under it. He covers the face of his throne and spreads his clouds over it. He drew the circular horizon on the face of the waters, at the abundantly of the light and darkness. The pillars of heaven tremble and astonished at his rebuke. He stirs up the sea with his power, and by his understanding he breaks up the storm. By his spirit he has adorned the heavens, his hands piercing and flaying the serpent. Indeed, these are the merged edges of the ways, and how small of whisper we hear of him. But the thunder of his power, who can understand?
وعاد أيوب ينطق بمثله فقال حي هو الله الذي نزع حقي والقدير الذي أمر نفسي إنه ما دامت نسمتي في ونفحة الله في أنفي لن تتكلم شفتاي اسما ولا يلفظ لساني بغش. حاشا لي أن أبرركم حتى أسلم الروح ولا أعزل كمالي عني. تمسكت ببري ولا أرخيه، قلبي لا يعبر يوما من أيامي. ليكن عدوك الشرير ومعاندي كفاعل الشر، لأنه ما هو رجاء الفاجر عندما يقطعه، عندما يسلب الله نفسه. أفيسمع الله صراخه إذا جاء عليه ضيق، أم يتلذذ بالقدير؟ هل يدعو الله في كل حين؟ إني أعلمكم بيد الله لا أكتم ما هو عند قدير. ها أنتم كلكم قد رأيتم، فلماذا تتبطلون تبطلا قائلين هذا نصيب الإنسان الشرير من عند الله وميراث العتاة الذي ينالونه من القدير. إن كثر بنوه للسيف وذريته لا تشبع خبزا. بقينه تدفن بالوباء وأرامله لا تبكي. إن كنز فضة كالتراب وأعد ملابس كالطين. فهو يعد والبار ويلبسه والبريء يقسم الفضة. يبني بيته كالعث أو كمظلة صنعها الحارس. يضطجع غنيا ولكنه لا يضم. يفتح عينيه ولا يكون. الأهوال تدركه كالمياه ليلا تخطفه الروعة. تحمله الشرقية فيذهب وتجرفه من مكانه. يلقي الله عليه ولا يشفق، من يده ويهرب هربا. يصفقون عليه بأيديهم ويصفرون عليه من مكانه.
Surely there's a mine for silver and a place where gold is refined. Iron is taken from the earth and copper is smelted from ore. Man puts an end to darkness and searches every recess for ore in the darkness and the shadow of death. He breaks open a shaft away from people. In places forgotten by feet, they hang far away from men. They swing to and fro. As for the earth, from it comes bread, but underneath it is turned up as by fire. Its stones are the source of sapphires, and it contains gold dust. That path no bird knows, nor has the falcon's eye seen it. The proud lions have not trodden it, nor has the fierce lion passed over it. He puts his hand on the flint, he overturns the mountains at the roots. He cuts out channels in the rocks, and his eye sees every precious thing. He dams up the streams from trickling, what is hidden he brings forth to light. But where can wisdom be found, and where is the place of understanding? Man does not know its value, nor is it found in the land of the living. The deep says, "It is not in me," and the sea says, "It is not with me." It cannot be purchased for gold, nor can silver be weighed for its price. It cannot be valued in the gold of Ophir, in precious onyx or sapphire. Neither gold nor crystal can equal it, nor can it be exchanged for jewelry of fine gold. No mention shall be made of coral or quartz, for the price of wisdom is above rubies. The topaz of Ethiopia cannot equal it, nor can it be valued in pure gold. From where then does wisdom come, and where is the place of understanding? It is hidden from the eyes of all living, and concealed from the birds of the air. Destruction and death say, we have heard a report about it with our ears. God understands its ways, and he knows its place. For he looks to the ends of the earth and sees under the whole heavens, to establish a weight for the wind and mete out the waters by measure. When he made a law for the rain and a path for the thunderbolt, then he saw wisdom and declared it. He prepared it, indeed he searched it out, and to man he said, "Behold, the fear of the Lord, that is wisdom, and to depart from evil is understanding."
وعد أيوب ينطق بمثله فقال: يا ليتني كما في الشهور السالفة وكالأيام التي حفظني الله فيها، حين أضاء السراج على رأسي وبنوره سلكت الظلمة، كما كنت في أيام خريفي ورد الله على خيمتي، والقدير بعد معي وحولي غلماني، إذ غسلت خطواتي باللبن والصخر سكب لي جداول زيتا، حين كنت أخرج إلى الباب في القرية وأهيئ في الساحة مجلسي، رآني الغلمان فاختبئوا والأشياخ قاموا ووقفوا، العظماء أمسكوا عن الكلام ووضعوا أيديهم على أفواههم، صوت الشرفاء اختفى ولصقت ألسنتهم بأحناكهم، لأن الأذن سمعت فطوبتني والعين رأت فشهدت لي، لأني أنقذت مسكين واستغيث واليتيم ولا معين له، بركة الهالك حلت علي وجعلت قلبي الأرملة يسري، لبست البر فكساني كجبة وعمامة كان عدلي، كنت عيونا للعمي وأرجلنا للعرج، أبا أنا للفقراء ودعوة لم أعرفها فحصت عنها، أشمت أضراس الظالم ومن أسناني خطفت الفريسة، فقلت إني في وقري أسلم الروح ومس السمندل أقصر أياما، وصلي كان انبسط إلى المياه والطل بات على أغصاني، كرامتي بقت حديثة عندي وقوسي تجددت في يدي، لي سمع وانتظروا ونصل عند منشورتي، بعد الكلام لم يسنوا وقولي قطر عليهم، وانتظروني مثل المطر وفغر أفواههم كما مطر متأخر، إن ضحكت عليهم لما صدقوا ونور وجهي لم يعبسوا، كنت أختار طريقهم وأجلس رأسا وأسكن كملك في جيش كمن يعزي الناحين.
But now they mock at me, men younger than I, whose fathers I disdain to put with the dogs of my flock. Indeed, what profit is the strength of their hands to me? Their vigour has perished. They are gaunt from want and famine, fleeing late to the wilderness, desolate and waste, who pluck mallow by the bushes and broom tree roots for their food. They were driven out from among men. They shouted at them at a thief. They had to live in the clefts of the valleys, in caves of the earth and the rocks. Among the bushes they brayed, under the nettles they nestled. They were sons of fools, yes, sons of vile men. They were scourged from the land, and now I am their taunting song. Yes, I am their byword. They abhor me, they keep far from me. They do not hesitate to spit in my face. Because he has loosed my bestowing and afflicted me, they have cast off restraint before me. At my right hand the rabble arises. They push away my feet, and they raise against me their ways of destruction. They break up my path, they promote my calamity. They have no helper. They come as broad breakers. Under the ruinous storm they roll along. Terrors are turned upon me. They pursue my honor as the wind, and my prosperity has passed like a cloud. And now my soul is poured out because of my plight. The days of affliction take hold of me. My bones are pierced in me at night, and my gnawing pains take no rest. By great force my garment is disfigured. It binds me about as the collar of my coat. He has cast me into the mire, and I have become like dust and ashes. I cry out to you, but you do not answer me. I stand up, and you regard me. But you have become cruel to me. With the strength of your hand you oppose me. You lift me up to the wind and cause me to ride on it. You spoil my success, for I know that you will bring me to death and to the house appointed for all living. Surely he would not stretch out his hand against a heap of ruins. If they cry out when he destroys it, have I not wept for him who was in trouble? Has not my soul grieved for the poor? But when I looked for good, evil came to me. And when I waited for light, then came darkness. My heart is in turmoil and cannot rest. Days of affliction confront me. I go about mourning, but not in the sun. I stand up in the assembly and cry out for help. I am a brother of jackals and a companion of ostriches. My skin grows black and falls from me. My bones burn with fever. My harp is turned into mourning, and my flute to the voice of those who weep.
عادا قطعت لعيني فكيف أتطلع في عذراء وما هي قسمة الله من فوق ونصيب القدير من الأعالي؟ أليس البوار لعامل الشر والنكر لفاعل الإثم؟ أليس هو ينظر طرقي ويحصى جميع خطواتي؟ إن كنت قد سلكت مع الكذب أو أسرعت رجلي إلى الغش ليزني في ميزان الحق فيعرف الله كمالي. إن حادت خطواتي عن الطريق وذاب قلبي وراء عيني أو لصق عيب بكفي أزرع وغيري يأكل وفروعي تستأصل. إن غوى قلبي على امرأة أو كمنت على باب قريبي فلتطحن امرأتي لآخر ولينحني عليها آخرون. لأن هذه رذيلة وهي اسم يعرض للقضاء. لأنها نار تأكل حتى إن إلى الهلاك وتستأصل كل محصولي. إن كنت رفضت حق عبدي وأمتي في دعواهم علي فماذا كنت أصنع حين يقوم الله؟ وإذا أفتقد فماذا أجيبه؟ أو ليس صانعي في البطن صانعه وقد صورنا واحد في الرحم. إن كنت منعت المساكين عن مرادهم أو أفنيت عيني الأرملة أو أكلت لقمتي وحدي فما أكل منها اليتيم. بل منذ صباي كبر عندي كأب ومن بطن أمي هديتها. إن كنت رأيت هالكا لعدم اللبس أو فقيرا بلا كسوة إن لم تبارك كان حقواه وقد استدفأ بجزة غنمي. إن كنت قد هززت يدي على اليتيم لما رأيت عوني في الباب ولتسقط عضدي من كتفي ولتنكسر ذراعي من قصبتها. لأن البوار من الله رعب علي ومن جلاله لم أستطع. إن كنت قد جعلت الذهب عمدتي أو قلت للإبريز أنت متكلي. إن كنت قد فرحت إذ كسرت ثروتي ولأن يدي وجدت كثيرا. إن كنت قد نظرت إلى النور حين ضاء أو إلى القمر يسير بالبهاء وغوى قلبي سرا ولثم يدي فمي فهذا أيضا اسم يعرض للقضاء لأني أكون قد جحدت الله من فوق. إن كنت قد فرحت ببلية مبغضي أو شمت حين أصابه سوء بل لم أدع حنكي يخطئ في طلب نفسه بلعنة. إن كان أهل خيمتي لم يقولوا من يأتي بعدا لم يشبع من طعامه. غريب لم يبت في الخارج فتحت للمسافر أبوابي. إن كنت قد كتمت كالناس ذنبي لإخفاء اسمي في حضني إذ رهبت جمهورا غفيرا وروعتني إهانة العشائر فكففت ولم أخرج من الباب. من لي بمن يسمعني؟ هو ذا إمضائي ليجيبني القدير ومن لي يشكو كتبها خصمي؟ فكنت أحملها على كتفي، كنت أغصبها تاجا لي، كنت أخبره بعدد خطواتي وأدنو منه كشريف. إن كنت أرضي قد صرخت علي وتباكت أتلامها جميعا، إن كنت قد أكلت غلتها بلا فضة أو أطفأت أنفس أصحابها، فعوض الحنطل ينبت شوك وبدل الشعير زوان. تمت أقوال أيوب.
So these three men ceased answering Job, because he was righteous in his own eyes. Then the wrath of Elihu the son of Barachel the Buzite of the family of Ram was aroused against Job. His wrath was aroused because he justified himself rather than God. Also against his three friends his wrath was aroused, because they had found no answer and yet had condemned Job. Now because they were years older than he, Elihu had wanted to speak to Job. When Elihu saw that there was no answer in the mouth of these three men, his wrath was aroused. So Elihu the son of Barachel the Buzite answered and said, I am young in years and you are very old. Therefore I was afraid and dared not to declare my opinion to you. I said, age should speak, and the multitude of years should teach wisdom. But there is a spirit in man, and the breath of the Almighty One gives him understanding. Great men are not always wise, nor do the aged always understand justice. Therefore I say, listen to me, I also will declare my opinion. Indeed, I waited for your words, I listened to your reasonings while you searched out what to say. I paid close attention to you, and surely not one of you convinced Job or answered his words. Lest you say, we have found wisdom, God will vanquish him, not man. Now he has not directed his words against me, so I will not answer him with your words. They are dismayed and answer no more, words escape them. And I have waited, because they did not speak, because they stood still and answered no more. I also will answer my part, I too will declare my opinion, for I am full of words. The spirit within me compels me. Indeed, my belly is like wine that has no vent. It is ready to burst like new wineskins. I will speak that I may find relief. I must open my lips and answer. Let me not, I pray, show partiality to anyone. Nor let me flatter any man, for I do not know how to flatter. Else my Maker would soon take me away.
to speak on God's behalf. I will fetch the knowledge from afar. I will ascribe the righteousness to my Maker. For truly my words are not false. One who is perfect in knowledge is with you. Behold, God is mighty, but despise no one. He is mighty in strength of understanding. He does not preserve the life of the wicked, but gives justice to the opposed. He does not withdraw his eyes from the righteous, but they are on the throne with kings, for he is seated them forever, and they are exalted. And if they are bounded in the fetters, held the cords of affliction, then he tells them their works and transgressions, that they have acted defiantly. He also opens their ears to the instruction and commands that they turn from iniquity. If they obey and serve him, they shall finds them. They die in youth, and their life ends among the preserved person. He delivers the poor in their affliction, and opens their ears in obsession. Indeed, he would have brought out of the deserts into the broad place, where there is no resistance. And what is yet on your table would be full of richness. But if you were filled with the judgment due to the wicked judgment and justice take hold of you, because there is a wrath, beware lest he take you away. And blows from the large ransom would not help you avoid it. Will your riches or all the mighty forces keep you from distress? Do you desire the night when people are cut off in their places, in their place? Take heed. Do not turn to iniquity, for you have chosen this rather than affliction. Behold, God is exalted by his power, and teaches like him. Who has assigned him his ways, or has said you have done wrong? Remember the magnificent work of which men have sung. Everyone has seen the man looks on it, and afar behold, God is great, and we do not know him, nor can the number of his years be discovered. For he draws up drops of water, which distill as the rain in the midst, which the clouds drop down, and pour abundantly on men. Indeed, can anyone understand the spreading of the clouds, the thunder from the canopy? Look, he scatters as light upon it, and covers the depth of sea. For by these he judges the people, he gives food in abundance. He covers his hands with lightning, and commands it to strike. His thunder declares it. The cattle is also concerning the rising storm.
لهذا اضطرب قلبي وخفق من موضعه. اسمعوا سمعا رعدا صوته، والزمزمة الخارجة من فيه. تحت كل السماوات اطلقها، كذا نوره إلى أكناف الأرض. بعد يزمجر صوت، يرعد صوت جلاله، ولا يؤخرها السمع صوته. الله يرعد بصوته عجبا، يصنع عظائم لا ندركها. لأنه يقول للسلك اسكت على الأرض، كذا لوابل المطر وابل أمطار عزها. يختم على يد كل إنسان ليعلم كل الناس خالقهم، فتدخل الحيوانات المآوي وتستقر في أوجرتها. من الجنوب تأتي الأعصار ومن الشمال البرد. من نسمة الله يجعل الجمد وتضيق سعة المياه. أيضا بري يطرح الغيم، يبدد السحاب نوره، فهي مدورة متقلبة بإدارته لتفعل كل ما يأمر به على وجه الأرض المسكونة، سواء كان للتأديب أو لأرضه أو للرحمة أو يرسلها. انصت إلى هذا يا أيوب، وقف وتأمل بعجائب الله. أتدرك انتباه الله إليها أو إضاءة نور سحابه؟ أتدرك موازنة السحاب، معجزات الكامل المعارف؟ كيف تسخن ثيابك إذا سكنت الأرض من ريح الجنوب؟ هل صفحت معه الجلد الممكن كالمرأة المسبوكة كالمرآة المسبوكة؟ علمنا ما نقول لكم، إننا لا نحسن الكلام بسبب الظلمة. هل يقسى علي كلامي إذ تكلمت؟ هل ينطق الإنسان لكي يبتلع؟ والآن لا يرى النور الباهر الذي هو في الجلد. ثم تعبر الريح فتنقيه. من الشمال يأتي ذهب، عند الله جلال مرهب. القدير لا ندركه، عظيم القوة والحق وكثير البر، لا يجاوب. لذلك فلتخفيه الناس، كل حكيم القلب لا يراعي.
Then the Lord answered Job out of the whirlwind and said, Who is this whose darkness counselled by words without knowledge? Now prepare yourself like a man. I will question you, and you shall answer me. Where were you when I laid the foundations of the earth? Tell me if you have understanding. Who determined its measurements? Surely you know. Or who stretched the line upon it, to that where its foundations fastened? Or who laid its cornerstone? When the morning stars sang together, and all the sons of God shouted for joy? Or who shut in the sea with doors, when it burst forth and issued from the womb? When I made the clouds its garment, and thick darkness its swaddling band? When I fixed my limit for it, and set bars and doors? When I said, This far you may come, but no further, and here your proud waves must stop? Have you commanded the morning since your days began, and caused the dawn to know its place, that it might take hold of the ends of the earth, and the wicked be shaken out of it? It takes on form like clay under a seal, and stands out like a garment. From the wicked their light is withheld, and the upraised arm is broken. Have you entered the springs of the sea, or have you walked in search of the depths? Have the gates of death been revealed to you? Or have you seen the doors of the shadow of death? Have you comprehended the breadth of the earth? Tell me if you know all this. Where is the way to the dwelling of light? And darkness, where is its place? That you may take it to its territory, that you may know the path to its home. Do you know it because you were born then, or because the number of your days is great? Have you entered the treasury of snow, or have you seen the treasury of hail, which I have reserved for the time of trouble, for the day of battle and war? By what way is light diffused, or the east wind scattered over the earth? Who has divided a channel for the overflowing water, or a path for the thunderbolt, to cause it to rain on a land where there is no one, a wilderness in which there is no man, to satisfy the desolate waste, and cause the spring forth and growth of tender grass? Has the rain a father, or has begotten the drips of dew, from whose womb comes the ice, and the frost of heaven who gives it birth? The water hardens like stone, and the surface of the deep is frozen. Can you bind the cluster of the Pleiades, or loose the belt of Orion? Can you bring out Mazzaroth in its season, or can you guide the great bear with its cubs? Do you know the ordinance of the heavens? Can you set their dominion over the earth? Can you lift up your voice to the clouds, that an abundance of water may cover you? Can you send out lightnings, that they may go and say to you, Here we are? Who has put wisdom in the mind, or who has given understanding to the heart? Who can number the clouds by wisdom, or who can pour out the bottles of heaven? When the dust hardens in clumps and the clods cling together, can you hunt the prey for the lion, or satisfy the appetite of the young lions? when they crouch in their dens or lurk their lairs to lie in wait? Who provides food for the raven when its young ones cry to God and wander about for lack of food?
أتعرف وقت ولادة وعود الصخور أو تلاحظ مخاض الأيائل؟ أتحسب الشهور التي قد تكملها أو تعلم ميعاد ولادتهن؟ يبرقن ويضعن أولادهن، يدفعن أوجاعهن، تبلغ أولادهن، تربو في البرية، تخرج ولا تعود إليهن. من صرح الفراء حرا، ومن فك ربط حمار الوحش، الذي جعلت البرية بيته والسياخ مسكنه. يضحك على جمهور القرية، لا يسمع زجر الصائق. دائرة الجبال مرعاة، وعلى كل خضرة يفتش. أيرضي الثور الوحشي أن يخدمك أم يبيت عند معلفك؟ أتربط الثور الوحشي بحبل إلى خط المحراس أم يمهد للأودية وراءك؟ أتسكو به لأن قوته عظيمة أو تترك له تعبك؟ أتأتمنه أنه يأتي بزرعك ويجمع إلى بزارك؟ جناح النعامة يرفرف، فهو منكب ورؤوف أمريش، لأنها تترك بيضها وتحميه في التراب. وتنسى أن الرجل تضغطه أو حيوان البر يدوسه. تقسو على أولادها كأنها ليست لها، باطل تعبها فلا أسف، لأن الله قد أنساها حكمة ولم يقسم لها فهما. عندما تحوز نفسها إلى العلاء تضحك على الفرس وعلى راكبه. هل أنت تغطي الفرس قوته وتكسو عنقه عرفا؟ أتو ثوبها كجرادة، نفخ منخره مرعب، يبحث في الوادي ويقفز ببأس، يخرج للقاء الأسلحة، يضحك على الخوف ولا يرتاع ولا يرجع عن السيف. عليه تصل السهام وسنان الرمح والحربة في وسبه، وغضبه يلتهم الأرض ولا يؤمن إنه صوت البوق. عنده نفخ البوق ويقول ومن بعيد يستروح القتال، صياح القواد والهتاف. أمن فهمك يستقل العقاب وينشر جناحيه نحو الجنوب، أو بأمرك يحلق النسر ويعلي وكره، يسكن الصخر ويبيت على سن الصخر والمعقل. من هناك يتحسن قوته ويبصره عيناه من بعيد، فراخه تحسو الدم، وحيثما تكون القتلى فهناك هو.
Moreover, the Lord answered Job and said, Shall the one who contends with him, the Almighty, correct him? And he who rebukes God, let him answer it. Then Job answered the Lord and said, Behold, I am vile, what shall I answer you? I lay my hand over my mouth, once I have spoken, but I will not answer. Yes, twice, but I will proceed no further. Then the Lord answered Job out of the whirlwind and said, Now prepare yourself like a man, I will question you, and you shall answer me. Would you indeed annul my judgment? Would you condemn me that you may be justified? Have you an arm like God, or can you thunder with a voice like his? Then adorn yourself with majesty and splendor, and array yourself with glory and beauty. Disperse the rage of your wrath. Look on everyone who is proud and humble him. Look on everyone who is proud and bring him low. Tread down the wicked in their place. Hide them in the dust together. Bind their faces in hidden darkness. Then I will also confess to you that your own right hand can save you. Look now at the behemoth, which I made along with you. He eats grass like an ox. See now his strength in his hips, and his power in his stomach muscles. He moves his tail like a kedar. The sinews of his thighs are tightly knit. His bones are like beams of bronze, his ribs like bars of iron. He is the fist of the ways of God. Only he who made him can bring near his sword. Surely the mountains yield food for him, and all the beasts of the field play there. He lies under the lotus trees in a covert of reeds and marsh. The lotus trees cover him with their shade. The willows by the brook surround him. Indeed, the river may rage, yet he is not disturbed. He is confident though the Jordan gushes into his mouth. Though he takes it in his eyes, or one pierces his nose with a snare.
وتصطاد التمساح بشص أو تضغط لسانه بحبل أتضع أسلة في قدمه أم تسكب فكه بخزامة أيقصد الضراعات إليك أم يتكلم معك بالليل هل يقطع معك عهدا فتتخذه عبدا مؤبدا أتلعب معه كالعصفور أو تربطه لأجل فتياتك هل تحفر جماعة الصيادين لأجل حفرة أو يقسمون بين الكنعانيين أتملأ جلده حرابا ورأسه بإلال السمك ضع يدك عليه لا تعد تذكر القتال هوذا الرجاء به كاذب ألا يكب أيضا من رؤيته ليس من شجاع يوقظه فمن يقف إذن بوجهي ما تقدمني فأوفيه ما تحت كل السماوات هو لي لا أسكت عن أعضائه وخبر قوته وبهجة عدته من يكشف وجهه لبسه ومن يدنو من مثنى لجمته من يفتح مصراعي فمي دائرة أسنانه مرعبة فخر من جان معناها محكمة مضغوطة بخاتم الواحد يمثل الآخر فالريح لا تدخل بينها كل منها ملتصق بصاحبه متجمدة لا تنفصل التعصب يبعث نورا وعينها كحزب الصبح من فمه تخرج مصابيح شرار النار تتطاير منه من منخريه يخرج الدخان كأنه من قدر منفوخ أو من مرجل نفسه يشعل جملا ولهيب يخرج من فمه في عنقه تبيت القوة وأمامه يدوس الهول مطاوي رحمه متلاصقة مسبوكة عليه لا تتحرك قلبه صلب كالحجر وقاس كالرحى عند نهوضه تفزع الأقوياء من مخاوف يتهيبون سيف الذي يلحق لا يقوم ولا روح ولا حرب ولا درع يحسب كالحديد كالتبن والنحاس كالعود للنخر لا يستفيده النبل القوس حجارة المقلاع ترجع عنه كالقش يحسب المطرقة القش ويضحك على اهتزاز الرمح تحته قطع خرف حادة يمدد نورا على الطين يجعل العمق يغلي كالقدر ويجعل البحر كقدر العطار يضيء السبيل فيراه فيحسب اللج أشب ليس له في الأرض نظير صنع العدم الخوف يشرف على كل متعال هو ملك على كل بني الكبرياء.
Then Job answered the Lord and said, I know that you can do everything, and that no purpose of yours can be withheld from you. You asked, Who is this who hides counsel without knowledge? Therefore I have uttered what I didn't understand, things too wonderful for me which I didn't know. Listen, please, and let me speak. You said, I will question you, and you shall answer me. I have heard of you by the hearing of the ear, but now my eye sees you. Therefore I abhor myself and repent in dust and ashes. And so it was, after the Lord had spoken these words to Job, that the Lord said to Eliphaz the Temanite, My wrath is aroused against you and your two friends, for you have not spoken of me what is right, as my servant Job has. Now therefore, take for yourselves 7 bulls and 7 rams, go to my servant Job and offer up for yourselves a burnt offering, and my servant Job shall pray for you, for I will accept him, lest I deal with you according to your folly, because you have not spoken of me what is right, as my servant Job has. So Eliphaz the Temanite and Bildad the Shuhite and Zophar the Naamite went and did as the Lord commanded them, for the Lord had accepted Job. And the Lord restored Job's losses when he prayed for his friends. Indeed, the Lord gave Job twice as much as he had before. Then all his brothers all his sisters, and all those who had been his acquaintance before came to him and ate food with him in his house. And they consoled him and comforted him for all the adversity that the Lord had brought upon him. Each one gave him a piece of silver and each a ring of gold. Now the Lord blessed the later days of Job more than his beginning, for he had 14,000 sheep, 6,000 camels, 1,000 yoke of oxen, and 1,000 female donkeys. He also had 7 sons and 3 daughters, and he called the name of the first Jemimah, the name of the second Keziah, and the name of the third Keren Habuk. In all the land were found no women so beautiful as the daughters of Job, and their father gave them an inheritance among their brothers. After this, Job lived 140 years, and saw his children and grandchildren for 4 generations. So Job died old and full of days. Glory be to God forever. Amen. هنبتدي دلوقتي إنجيل ماري مرقس مع بعض. تفضلوا اللي على الدور.
بدء إنجيل يسوع المسيح ابن الله كما هو مكتوب في الأنبياء: ها أنا أرسل أمام وجهك ملاكي الذي يهيئ طريقك قدامك. صوت صارخ في البرية: أعدوا طريق الرب، اصنعوا سبله مستقيمة. كان يوحنا يعمد في البرية ويكرز بمعمودية التوبة لمغفرة الخطايا، وخرج إليه جميع كرة اليهودية وآل أورشليم، واعتمدوا جميعهم منه في نهر الأردن معترفين بخطاياهم. وكان يوحنا يلبس وبر الإبل ومنطقة من جلد على حقويه ويأكل جرادا وعسلا بريا. كان يكرز قائلا: يأتي بعد من هو أقوى مني، الذي لست أهلا أن أنحني وأحل سيور حذائي. أنا عمدتكم بالماء، وأما هو فسيعمدكم بالروح القدس. وفي تلك الأيام جاء يسوع من ناصرة الجليل واعتمد من يوحنا في الأردن. وللوقت وهو صاعد من الماء رأى السماوات قد انشقت والروح مثل حمامة نازلا عليه، وكان صوت من السماوات: أنت ابن الحبيب الذي به سررت. وللوقت أخرجه الروح إلى البرية، وكان هناك في البرية 40 يوما يجرب من الشيطان، وكان مع الوحوش وصارت الملائكة تخدمه. وبعدما أسلم يوحنا جاء يسوع إلى الجليل يكرز ببشارة ملكوت الله ويقول: قد كمل الزمان واقترب ملكوت الله، فتوبوا وآمنوا بالإنجيل. وفيما هو يمشي عند بحر الجليل أبصر سمعان وأندراوس أخاه يلقيان شبكة في البحر، فإنهما كانا يصيدين. وقال لهما يسوع: هلما ورائي فأجعلكما تصيران صياد الناس. فللوقت ترك شباكهما وتبعاه. ثم اجتاز من هناك قليلا فرأى يعقوب ابن زبدي ويوحنا أخاه وهما في السفينة يصلحان الشباك، فدعاهما للوقت، فترك أباهما زبدي في السفينة مع الأجرة وذهب ورائه. ثم دخلوا كفر ناحوم، وللوقت دخل المجمع في السبت وصار يعلم، فبهتوا من تعليمه، لأنه كان يعلمهم كمن له سلطان وليس كالكتبة. وكان في مجمعهم رجل به روح نجس فصرخ قائلا: ما لنا ولك يا يسوع الناصري، أتيت لتهلكنا؟ أنا أعرفك من أنت، قدوس الله. فانتهره يسوع قائلا: اخرس واخرج منه. فصرعه الروح النجس وصاح بصوت عظيم وخرج منهم. فتحيروا كلهم حتى سأل بعضهم بعضا قائلين: ما هذا؟ ما هو هذا التعليم الجديد؟ لأنه بسلطان يأمر الأرواح النجسة فتطيعه. فخرج خبره للوقت في كل القرى المحيطة بالجليل. ولما خرجوا من المجمع جاءوا للوقت إلى بيت سمعان وأندراوس مع يعقوب ويوحنا. وكانت حماة سمعان مضطجعة محمومة، فللوقت أخبروه عنها، فتقدم وأقامها ماسكا بيدها، فتركتها الحمى حالا وصارت تخدمه. ولما صار المساء إذ غربت الشمس قدموا إليه جميع السقماء والمجانين وكانت المدينة كلها مجتمع على الباب. فشفى كثيرين كانوا مرضى وأمراض مختلفة، وأخرج الشياطين كثيرة، ولم يدع الشياطين يتكلمون لأنهم عرفوه. وفي الصبح باكرا جدا قام وخرج ومضى إلى موضع خلاء وكان يصلي هناك. فتبعه سمعان والذين معه، ولما وجدوه قالوا له: إن الجميع يطلبونه. فقال لهم: لنذهب إلى القرى المجاورة لأكرز هناك أيضا، لأني لهذا خرجت. فكان يجلس في مجامعهم في كل الجليل ويخرج الشياطين. فأتى إليه أبرص يطلب إليه جاسيا وقائلا له: إن أردت تقدر أن تطهرني. فتحنن يسوع ومد يده ولمسه وقال: أريد فأطهر. فللوقت وهو يتكلم ذهب عنه البرص وطهر. فانتهره وأرسله للوقت وقال له: انظر، لا تقل لأحد شيئا، بل اذهب أري نفسك للكاهن وقدم عن تطهيرك ما أمر به موسى شهادة لهم. وأما هو فخرج وابتدأ ينادي كثيرا ويذيع الخبر، حتى لم يعد يقدر أن يدخل مدينة ظاهرا، بل كان خارجا في مواضع خالية، وكانوا يأتون إليه من كل ناحية.
And again he entered Capernaum after some days, and it was heard that he was in the house. Immediately many gathered together, so that there was no longer room to receive them, not even near the door. And he preached the word to them. Then they came to him, bringing a paralytic who was carried by 4 men. And when they could not come near him because of the crowd, they uncovered the roof where he was. So when they had broken through, they let the bed down on which the paralytic was lying. When Jesus saw their faith, he said to the paralytic, "Son, your sins are forgiven you." And some of the scribes were sitting there and reasoning in their hearts, "Why does this man speak blasphemies like this? Who can forgive sins but God alone?" But immediately when Jesus perceived in his spirit that they reasoned thus within themselves, he said to them, "Why do you reason about these things in your hearts? Which is easier to say to the paralytic, 'Your sins are forgiven you,' or to say, 'Arise, take up your bed and walk'? But that you may know that the Son of Man has power on earth to forgive sins." He said to the paralytic, "I say to you, arise, take up your bed and go to your house." Immediately he arose, took up the bed and went out into the presence of them all, so that all were amazed and glorified God, saying, "We never saw anything like this." Then he went out again by the sea, and all the multitudes came to him, and he taught them. As he passed by, he saw Levi, the son of Alphaeus, sitting at the tax office, and said to him, "Follow me." So he arose and followed him. Now it happened, as he was dining in Levi's house, that many tax collectors and sinners also sat together with Jesus and his disciples, for there were many, and they followed him. And when the scribes and Pharisees saw him eating with the tax collectors and sinners, they said to his disciples, "How is it that he eats and drinks with tax collectors and sinners?" When Jesus heard it, he said to them, "Those who are well have no need of a physician, but those who are sick. I did not come to call the righteous, but the sinners to repentance." The disciples of John and the Pharisees were fasting. Then they came and said to him, "Why do the disciples of John and the Pharisees fast, but your disciples do not fast?" And Jesus said to them, "Can the friends of the bridegroom fast while the bridegroom is with them? As long as they have the bridegroom with them, they cannot fast. But the days will come when the bridegroom will be taken away from them, and they will fast in those days. No one sews a piece of unshrunk cloth on an old garment, or else the new piece pulls away from the old, and the tear is made worse. And no one puts new wine into old wineskins, or else the new wine bursts the wineskins, the wine is spilled, and the wineskins are ruined. But new wine must be put into new wineskins." Now it happened that he went through the grain fields on the Sabbath, and as they went, his disciples began to pluck the heads of grain. And the Pharisees said to him, "Look, why do they do what is not lawful on the Sabbath?" But he said to them, "Have you never read what David did when he was in need and hungry? He and those with him, how he went into the house of God in the days of Abiathar the high priest, and ate the showbread, which is not lawful to eat except for the priests, and also gave some to those who were with him. And he said to them, 'The Sabbath was made for man, and not man for the Sabbath. Therefore the Son of Man is also the Lord of the Sabbath.
ثم دخل أيضا إلى المجمع وكان هناك رجل يده يابسة فصاروا يراقبونه هل يشفيه في السبت لكي يشتكوا عليه. فقال للرجل الذي له اليد اليابسة قم في الوسط. ثم قال لهم هل يحل في السبت فعل الخير أم فعل الشر، تخليص نفس أو قتل؟ فسكتوا. فنظر حوله إليهم بغضب حزين على غلاظة قلوبهم وقال للرجل مد يدك، فمدها فعادت يده صحيحة كالأخرى. فخرج الفريسيون للوقت مع الهيروديسيين وتشاوروا عليه لكي يهلكوه. فانصرف يسوع مع تلاميذه إلى البحر وتبعه جمع كثير من الجليل ومن اليهودية ومن أورشليم ومن أدومية ومن عبر الأردن والذين حول سور وصيداء جمع كثير إذ سمعوا كم صنعوا أتوا إليه. فقال لتلاميذه أن تلازمه سفينة صغيرة بسبب الجمع لكي لا يزحموه، لأنه كان قد شفى كثيرين حتى وقع عليه ليلمسه كل من فيه داء. والأرواح النجسة حينما نظرته خرت له وصرخت قائلة إنك أنت ابن الله، وأوصاهم كثيرا أن لا يظهروه. ثم صعد إلى الجبل ودعا الذين أرادهم فذهبوا إليهم، وأقام 12 ليكونوا معه وليرسلهم ليكرزوا، ويكون لهم سلطان على شفاء الأمراض وإخراج الشياطين. وجعل لسمعان اسم بطرس ويعقوب ابن حلفة ويعقوب ابن زبتي ويوحنا أخا يعقوب، وجعل لهما اسم بوتجارس أي ابني الرعد، وأندراوس وفيلبس وبرسلماوس ومتى وتوما يعقوب ابن حلفة وتداوس سمعان القانوي ويهوذا الإسخريوطي الذي أسلمه. ثم أتوا إلى بيت فاجتمع أيضا جمع حتى لم يقدروا ولا على أكل الخبز. ولما سمع أقرباؤه خرجوا ليمسكوه لأنهم قالوا إنه مختل. وأما الكتبة الذين نزلوا من أورشليم فقالوا إن معه بعلزبول وأنه برئيس الشياطين يخرج الشياطين. فدعاهم وقال لهم بأمثال كيف يقدر الشيطان أن يخرج شيطانا، وإن انقسمت مملكة على ذاتها لا تقدر تلك المملكة أن تثبت، وإن انقسم بيت على ذاته لا يقدر ذلك البيت أن يثبت، وإن قام الشيطان على ذاته وانقسم لا يقدر أن يثبت بل يكون له انقضاء. لا يستطيع أحد أن يدخل بيت القوي وينهب أمتعتهم إن لم يربط القوي أولا وحينئذ ينهب بيتهم. الحق أقول لكم إن جميع الخطايا لا تغفر لبني البشر والتجاديف التي يجدفونها، ولكن من جدف على الروح القدس فليس له مغفرة إلى الأبد بل هو مستوجب دينونة أبدية، لأنهم قالوا إن معه روحا نجسا. فجاءت حينئذ أخوته وأمه ووقفوا خارجا وأرسلوا إليه بيدعونه، وكان الجمع جالسا حوله فقالوا له هوذا أمك وأخوتك خارجا يطلبونك. فأجابهم من أمي وأخوتي؟ ثم نظر حوله إلى الجالسين وقال ها أمي وأخوتي، لأن من يصنع مشيئة الله هو أخي وأختي وأمي.
And again he began to teach by the sea, and a great multitude gathered to him, so that he got into a boat and sat in it on the sea. And the whole multitude was on the land, facing the sea. Then he taught them many things by parables, and said to them in his teaching, listen, behold, a sower went out to sow. And it happened as he sowed that some seed fell by the wayside, and the birds of the air came and endorsed it. Some fell in the stony ground where it did not have much earth, and immediately it sprung up because it had no depth of earth. But when the sun was up, it was scorched, and because it had no root, it whirled away. And some seed fell among the thorns, and the thorns grew up and scorched it, and yielded no crop. But the other seeds fell on the good ground, and yielded a crop that sprang up, increased, and pursued, some 30-fold, and 60, and some 100. And he said to them, He who has ears to hear, let them hear. But when he was alone, those around him with the 12 asked him about the parable. And he said to them, To you it has been given to know the mystery of the kingdom of God, but to those who are outside all things come in parables, so that seeing they may see, and not perceive, and hearing they may not hear, and not understand, lest should turn, and their sins may be forgiven. And he said to them, Do not understand these parables. How then will you understand all the parables? The sower sows the words, and these are the ones by the wayside where the words is sown. When they hear, the Satan comes immediately and takes away the word that has been sown in their hearts. These likewise are the ones sown on the stony ground, who when they hear the word immediately receive it in gladness, and they have no root in themselves, and so endure only for time. Afterward tribulation and persecution arises for the word's sake. Immediately they stumble. Now these are the ones sown among the thorns. They are the ones who hear the word, and the cares of the world and deceitfulness of the riches and desires the other things, entering in choke the word, and it becomes unfruitful. But these are the ones that sown on good grounds, those who hear the word, accept it, and bear fruit, some 30-fold, some 60, and some 100. Also he said to them, Is a lamp brought to be put under the basket or under a bed? Is it not to be yet set on the lampstand? For there is nothing hidden which will not be revealed, nor has anything been kept secret, but that it should come to light. If anyone has ears, let them hear. Then he said to them, Take heed what you hear. With the same measure you use it will be measured to you, and those who hear more will be given. For whoever has, to him more will be given, but whoever does not have, even what has will be taken away from him. And he said, The kingdom of God is as if the man should scatter seeds on the ground, and should sleep by the night and rise by day, and the seed should sprout and grow, he himself does not know how. For the earth yields crops by itself, first the blade, then the head, after that the full grain in the head. But when the grain reaps, immediately he puts in the sickle, because the harvest has come. Then he said to what shall we liken the kingdom of God? Or what with the parable shall we picture it? It is like the mustard seed, which when it is sown on the ground is smaller than all the seeds on the earth. But when it is sown, it grows up and becomes greater than all the herbs, and shoots out the large branches, so that the birds of the air may nest under its shade. And if with many such parables are spoke with the words of them, as they were able to hear it, but without a parable he did not speak to them. And when they were alone, he explained all things to his disciples. On the same day evening had come. He said to them, "Let us cross over to the other side." Now when they had left the multitudes, they took along in the boat as he said, and other little boat were also with him. And a great windstorm arose, and the waves beat into the boat, so that it was already filling. But he was in the stern asleep on a pillow, and they awoke him and said to him, "Teacher, do you not care that we are perishing?" Then he arose and rebuked the wind, and said to the sea, "Peace, be still." And the wind ceased, and there was a great calm. But he said to them, "Why are you also fearful? How is it that you have no faith?" And they feared exceedingly, and said one to one another, "Who can this be, that even the wind and the sea obey him?"
وجاءوا إلى عبر البحر إلى قرى الجدريين، ولما خرج من السفينة الوقت استقبلهم من القبور إنسان به روح نجس، كان مسكنه في القبور، ولم يقدر أحد أن يربطه ولا بسلاسل، لأنه قد ربط كثيرا بقيود وسلاسل، وقطع السلاسل وكسر القيود، فلم يقدر أحد أن يذلله. وكان دائما ليلا ونهارا في الجبال وفي القبور يصيح ويجرح نفسه بالحجارة. فلما رأى يسوع من بعيد ركض وسجد له، وصرخ بصوت عظيم: "ما لي ولك يا يسوع ابن الله العلي؟ أستحلفك بالله إن لا تعذبني." لأنه قال له: "أخرج من الإنسان أيها الروح النجس." وسأله: "ما اسمك؟" فأجاب: "اسمي لاجئون، لأننا كثيرون." وطلب إليه كثيرا إن لا يرسلهم إلى خالق الكورة. وكان هناك عند الجبال قطيع كبير من الخنازير يرعى، فطلب إليه كل الشياطين قائلين: "ارسلنا إلى الخنازير لندخل فيها." فأذن لهم يسوع للوقت، فخرجت الأرواح النجسة ودخلت في الخنازير، واندفع القضية من على الجرف إلى البحر، وكان نحو 2000 فاختنق في البحر. وأما رعاة الخنازير فهربوا وأخبروا في المدينة وفي الضياع، فخرجوا ليروا ما جرى. وجاءوا إلى يسوع فنظروا المجنون الذي كان فيه لاجئون جالسا ولابسا وعاقلا، فخافوا. فحدثهم الذين رأوا كيف جرى المجنون وعن الخنازير، فابتدأوا يطلبون إليه أن يبدو من تخومهم. ولما دخل السفينة طلب إليه الذي كان مجنون أن يكون معه، فلما يدعوه يسوع بل قال له: "اذهب إلى بيتك وإلى أهلك واخبرهم كم صنع الله بك ورحمك." ومضى ابتدأ ينادي في 10 مدن كم صنع به يسوع، فتعجب الجميع. ولما اجتاز يسوع في السفينة أيضا إلى الأبر، اجتمع إليه جمع كثير، وكان عند البحر. وإذا واحد من رؤساء المجمع اسمه ييروس جاء، ولما رآه خر عند قدميه، وطلب إليه كثيرا قائلا: "ابنتي صغيرة على آخر نسمة، ليتك تأتي وتضع يدك عليها ولتشفى فتحيا." فمضى معه وتبعه جمع كثير وكانوا يزحمونه. وامرأة بنزف دم منذ 12 سنة، وقد تألمت كثيرا من أطباء كثيرين، وانفقت كل ما عندها ولم تنتفع شيئا، بل صارت إلى حال أردأ. ولما سمعت بيسوع جاءت في الجمع من ورائه ومست ثوبه، لأنها قالت: "إن مسست ولو بثيابي شفيت." فالوقت جفا ينبوع دمها، وعلمت في جسمها أنها قد برأت من الداء. فالوقت التفت يسوع بين الجميع شاعر في نفسه بالقوة التي خرجت منه، وقال: "من لمس ثيابي؟" قال له تلاميذه: "أنت تنظر الجمع يزحمك وتقول من لمسني." وكان ينظر حوله ليرى الذي فعل ذلك، أما المرأة فجاءت وهي خائفة مرتعدة عالمة بما حصل لها، فخرت وقالت له الحق كله. قال لها يا ابنة إيمانك قد اذهبي بسلام وكوني صحيحا من دائك. وبينما هو يتكلم جاء من دار رئيس المجمع قائلين ابنتك ماتت لماذا تتعب المعلم بعد؟ فسمع يسوع للوقت الكلمة التي قيلت وقال رئيس المجمع لا تخف آمن فقط. ولم يدع أحد يتبعه إلا بطرس ويعقوب ويوحنا أخي يعقوب. فجاء إلى بيت رئيس المجمع ورأى ضجيجا يبكون ويلولون كثيرا، فدخل وقال لهم لماذا تضجون وتبكون؟ لم تمت الصبية لكنها نائمة. فضحكوا عليه أما هو فأخرج الجمع وأخذ أبا الصبية أمها والذين معه ودخل حيث كانت الصبية مضطجعة، وامسك بيد الصبية وقال لها طبيثة قومي، الذي تفسيرها صبية لك أقول قومي. والوقت قامت الصبية ومشت لأنها كانت ابنة 12 سنة، فبهتوا جميعا بهتا عظيما. فأوصاهم كثيرا أن لا يعلم أحد بذلك، وقال أن تعطي لتأكل.
Then he went out from there and came to his own country, and his disciples followed him. And when the Sabbath had come, he began to teach in the synagogue. And many hearing him were astonished, saying, How did this man get these things? And what wisdom is this which is given to him, that such mighty works are performed by his hands? Is this not the carpenter, the son of Mary, and the brother of James, Joseph, Judas, and Simon? And are not his sisters here with us? So they were offended at him. But Jesus said to them, A prophet is not without honor except in his own country, among his own relatives, and in his own house. Now he could do no mighty work there, except that he had laid his hands on a few sick people and healed them. And he marveled because of their unbelief. Then he went out about the village in a circuit teaching. And he called the 12 to himself and began to send them out 2 by 2, and gave them power over unclean spirits. He commanded them to take nothing for the journey except a staff, no bag, no bread, no copper in their money belts, but to wear sandals and not to put on 2 tunics. Also he said to them, In whatever place you enter a house, stay there till you depart from that place. And whoever will not receive you nor hear you, when you depart from there, shake off the dust under your feet as a testimony against them. Assuredly I say to you, it will be more tolerable for Sodom and Gomorrah in the day of judgment than for that city. So they went out and preached that people should repent, and they cast out many demons and anointed with oil many who were sick and healed them. Now King Herod heard of him, for his name had become well known, and he said, John the Baptist is risen from the dead, and therefore these powers are at work in him. Others said it's Elijah, and others said it is the prophet, or like one of the prophets. But when Herod heard, he said, This is John, whom I beheaded. He has been raised from the dead. For Herod himself had sent and laid hold of John and bound him in prison for the sake of Herodias, his brother Philip's wife, for he had married her. Because John had said to Herod, It is not lawful for you to have your brother's wife, therefore Herodias held it against him and wanted to kill him, but she could not. For Herod feared John, knowing that he was a just and holy man, and he protected him. And when he heard him, he did many things and heard him gladly. Then an opportune day came, when Herod on his birthday gave a feast for his nobles, the high officers and the chief men of Galilee. And when Herodias' daughter herself came in and danced, and pleased Herod and those who sat with him, the king said to the girl, Ask me whatever you want, and I will give it to you. He also swore to her, Whatever you ask of me, I will give you up to half my kingdom. So she went out and said to her mother, What shall I ask? And she said, The head of John the Baptist. Immediately she came in with haste to the king and asked, saying, I want you to give me at once the head of John the Baptist on a platter. And the king was exceedingly sorry, yet because of the oaths and because of those who sat with him, he did not want to refuse her. Immediately the king sent an executioner and commanded his head to be brought. And he went and beheaded him in prison, brought his head on a platter and gave it to the girl, and the girl gave it to her mother. When his disciples heard of it, they came and took away his corpse and laid it in a tomb. Then the apostles gathered to Jesus and told him all things, both what they had done and what they had taught. And he said to them, "Come aside by yourselves to a deserted place and rest a while." For there were many coming and going, and they did not even have time to eat. So they departed to a deserted place in a boat by themselves. But the multitude saw them departing, and many knew him and ran there on foot from all the cities. They arrived before them and came together to him. And Jesus, when he came out, saw a great multitude and was moved with compassion for them, because they were like sheep not having a shepherd. So he began to teach them many things. When the day was now far spent, his disciples came to him and said, "This is a deserted place, and already the hour is late. Send them away that they may go into the surrounding countries and villages and buy themselves bread, for they have nothing to eat." But he answered and said to them, "You give them something to eat." And they said to him, "Shall we go buy 200 denarii worth of bread and give them to eat?" But he said to them, "How many loaves do you have? Go and see." And when they found out, they said, 5 loaves and 2 fish. Then he commanded them to make them all sit down in groups on the green grass. So they sat down in ranks, in hundreds and in 50s. And when he had taken the 5 loaves and the 2 fish, he looked up to heaven, blessed and broke the loaves, and gave them to his disciples to set before them. And the 2 fish he divided among them all. So they all ate and were filled. And they took up 12 baskets full of fragments and of the fish. Now those who had eaten the loaves were about 5,000 men. Immediately he made his disciples get into the boat and go before him to the other side, to Bethsaida, while he sent the multitude away. And when he had sent them away, he departed to the mountain to pray. Now when the evening came, the boat was in the middle of the sea, and he was alone in the land. Then he saw them straining at rowing, for the wind was great against them. Now about the 4th watch of the night he came to them walking on the sea, and would have passed them by. And when they saw him walking on the sea, they supposed it was a ghost and cried out, for they all saw him and were troubled. But immediately he talked with them and said to them, "Be of good cheer, it is I, do not be afraid." Then he went up into the boat to them, and the wind ceased. And they were greatly amazed in themselves beyond measure, and marveled, for they had not understood about the loaves, because their heart was hardened. When they had crossed over, they came to the land of Gennesaret and anchored there. And when they came out of the boat, immediately the people recognized him, ran through that whole surrounding region, and began to carry about on beds those who were sick to wherever they heard he was. Wherever he entered, into villages, cities, or the country, they laid the sick in marketplaces and begged him that they might just touch them with his garment. And as many as touched him were made well.
واجتمع إليه الفريسيون وقوم من الكتبة قادمين من أورشليم، ولما رأوا بعضا من تلاميذه يأكلون خبزا بأيدي دنسة أي غير مغسولة لاموا، لأن الفريسيين وكل اليهود إن لم يغسلوا أيديهم باعتناء لا يأكلون، متمسكين بتقليد الشيوخ. ومن السوق إن لم يغتسلوا لا يأكلون، وأشياء أخرى كثيرة تسلموها للتمسك بها، من غسل كؤوس وأباريق وأنية النحاس وأسرة. ثم سأله الفريسيون والكتبة: لماذا لا يسلك تلاميذك حسب تقليد الشيوخ، بل يأكلون خبزا بأيد غير مغسولة؟ فأجاب وقال لهم: حسنا تنبأ أشعياء عنكم أنتم المرائين، كما هو مكتوب: هذا الشعب يكرمني بشفتيه، وأما قلبه فمبتعد عني بعيدا. وباطلا يعبدونني وهم يعلمون تعاليم هي وصايا الناس. لأنكم تركتم وصايا الله وتتمسكون بتقليد الناس، غسل الأباريق والكؤوس وأمور أخر كثيرة مثل هذه تفعلون. ثم قال لهم: حسنا رفضتم وصية الله لتحفظوا تقليدكم، لأن موسى قال: أكرم أباك وأمك، ومن يشتم أبا أو أما فليمت موتا. وأما أنتم فتقولون: إن قال إنسانا لأبيه أو أمه قربانا أي هدية هو الذي تنتفع به مني، فلا تدعونه فيما بعد يفعل شيئا لأبيه أو أمه، مبطلين كلام الله بتقليدكم الذي سلمتموه وأمور كثيرة مثل هذه تفعلون. ثم دعا كل الجمع وقال لهم: اسمعوا مني كلكم وافهموا. ليس شيء من خارج الإنسان إذا دخل فيه يقدر أن ينجسه، لكن الأشياء التي تخرج منه هي التي تنجس الإنسان. إن كان لعد أذنان للسمع فليسمع. ولما دخل من عند الجمع إلى البيت سألوا تلاميذه عن المثل، فقال لهم: أفأنتم أيضا هكذا غير فاهمين؟ أما تفهمون أن كل ما يدخل الإنسان من خارج لا يقدر أن ينجسه، لأنه لا يدخل إلى قلبه بل إلى الجوف ثم يخرج إلى الخلاء، وذلك يطهر كل الأطعمة. ثم قال: إن الذي يخرج من الإنسان ذلك ينجس الإنسان، لأنه من الداخل من قلوب الناس تخرج الأفكار الشريرة: زنا، فسق، قتل، سرقة، طمع، خبث، مكر، عهارة، عين شريرة، تجديف، كبرياء، جهل. جميع هذه الشرور تخرج من الداخل وتنجس الإنسان. ثم قام من هناك ومضى إلى تخوم سور وصيدا، ودخل بيتا وهو يريد أن لا يعلم أحد، فلم يقدر أن يختفي، لأن امرأة كان بابنتها روح نجس سمعت به، فأتت وخرت عند قدميه. وكانت الامرأة أممية وفي جنسها فينيقية سوريا، فسألته أن يخرج الشيطان من ابنتها. وأما يسوع فقال لها: دع البنين أولا يشبعون، لأن ليس حسنا أن يؤخذ خبز البنين ويطرح للكلاب. فأجابت وقالت له: نعم يا سيد، والكلاب أيضا تحت المائدة تأكل من فتات البنين. وقال لها: لأجل هذه الكلمة اذهبي، فقد خرج الشيطان من ابنتك. فذهبت إلى بيتها ووجدت الشيطان قد خرج والابنة مطروحة على الفراش. ثم خرج أيضا من تخوم سور وصيدا، وجاء إلى بحر الجليل في وسط حدود المدن العشر، وجاءوا إليه بأصم أعقد، وطلبوا إليه أن يضع يده عليه، فأخذه من بين الجمع على يد ناحية، ووضع أصابعه في أذنيه، وتفل ولمس لسانه، ورفع نظره نحو السماء، وإن قال له: افتح، أي انفتح. وللوقت انفتحت أذناه، وانحل رباط لسانه، وتكلم مستقيما. فأوصاهم أن لا يقولوا لأحد، ولكن على قدر ما أوصاهم كانوا ينادون أكثر كثيرا، وبهتوا إلى الغاية قائلين: إنه عمل كل شيء حسنا، حتى جعل الصم يسمعون والخرس يتكلمون.
In those days, the multitude being very great and having nothing to eat, Jesus called his disciples to him and said to them, I have a compassion on the multitude, because they have now continued with me 3 days and have nothing to eat. And if I send them away hungry to their own houses, they will faint on the way, for some of them have come from afar. Then his disciples answered him, How can one satisfy these people with bread here in the wilderness? He asked them, How many loaves do you have? And they said, 7. So he commanded the multitude to sit down on the ground. He took 7 loaves and gave thanks, broke them and gave them to his disciples to set before them, and they set them before the multitude. They also had a few small fish, and having blessed them, he set them also before them. So they ate and were filled, and took up 7 large baskets of leftover fragments. Now those who had eaten were about 4,000, and he sent them away. He immediately got into the boat with his disciples and came to the region of Dalmuntha. Then the Pharisees came out and began to dispute with him, seeking from him a sign from heaven, testing him. But he sighed deeply in his spirit and said, Why does this generation seek a sign? Assuredly I say to you, not one shall be given to this generation. And he left them, and getting into the boat again, departed to the other side. Now the disciples had forgotten to take bread, and they did not have more than 1 loaf with them in the boat. Then he charged them, saying, Take heed, beware of the leaven of the Pharisees and the leaven of Herod. And they reasoned among themselves, saying, It is because we have no bread. But Jesus, being aware of it, said to them, Why do you reason because you have no bread? Do you not yet perceive nor understand? Is your heart still hardened? Having eyes, do you not see? And having ears, do you not hear? Do you not remember? When I broke the 5 loaves for 5,000, how many baskets full of fragments did you take up? They said to him, 12. Also, when I broke the 7 for the 4,000, how many large baskets of fragments did you take up? And they said 7. So they said to them, How is it you do not understand? Then he came to Bethsaida, and they brought a blind man to him and begged him to touch him. So he took the blind man by the hand and led him to the town. And when he had spit on the eyes and put his hand on him, he asked him if he saw anything. And he looked up and said, I see men like trees walking. Then he put up his hands on his eyes again and made him look up, and he was restored and saw everyone clearly. Then he sent him away to his house, saying, Neither go into the town, nor tell anyone in the town. Now Jesus and his disciples went out of the towns to Caesarea Philippi. And on the road he asked his disciples, saying to them, Who do men say that I am? So they answered, John the Baptist, but some say Elijah, and others one of the prophets. He said to them, But who do you say that I am? Peter answered and said to him, You are the Christ. Then he strictly warned them that they should tell no one about him. And he began to teach them that the Son of Man must suffer many things, and be rejected by the elders and chief priests and scribes, and be killed, and after 3 days rise again. He spoke this word openly. Then Peter took him aside and began to rebuke him. But when he had turned around and looked at his disciples, he rebuked Peter, saying, Get behind me, Satan, for you are not mindful of the things of God, but the things of men. When he had called the people to himself, with his disciples also, he said to them, Whoever desires to come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross and follow me. For whoever desires to save his life will lose it. But whoever loses his life for my sake and the gospel's will save it. For what will it profit a man if he gains the whole world and loses his own soul? Or what will a man give in exchange for his soul? For whoever is ashamed of me and my words in this adulterous and sinful generation, of him the Son of Man also will be ashamed when he comes in his glory of his Father and the holy angels.
وقال لهم الحق أقول لكم إن من القيام ها هنا قوما لا يذوقون الموت حتى يروا ملكوت الله قد أتى بقوة. وبعد 6 أيام أخذ يسوع بطرس ويعقوب ويوحنا وصعد بهم إلى جبل عال منفردين وحدهم، وتغيرت هيئته قدامهم، وصارت ثيابه تلمع بيضاء جدا كالثلج لا يقدر فصار قصار على الأرض أن يبيض مثل ذلك. وظهر لهم إيليا مع موسى وكان يتكلمان مع يسوع، فجعل بطرس يقول ليسوع: يا سيدي، جيد أن نكون ها هنا، فلنصنع 3 مظال، لك واحدة ولموسى واحدة ولإيلية واحدة، لأنه لم يكن يعلم ما يتكلم به إذ كانوا مرتعبين. وكانت سحابة تظللهم، فجاء صوت من السحابة قائلا: هذا هو ابن الحبيب، له اسمعوا. فنظروا حولهم بغتة ولم يروا أحدا غير يسوع وحده معهم. وفيما هم نازلون من الجبل أوصاهم أن لا يحدثوا أحدا بما أبصروا إلا متى قام ابن الإنسان من الأموات. فحفظوا الكلمة لأنفسهم يتساءلون ما هو القيام من الأموات. فسألوه: لماذا يقول كتب إن إيليا ينبغي أن يأتي أولا؟ فأجاب: إن إيليا يأتي أولا ويرد كل شيء، وكيف هو مكتوب عن ابن الإنسان أن يتألم كثيرا ويرذل. ولكن أقول لكم إن إيليا أيضا قد أتى وعملوا به كل ما أرادوا كما هو مكتوب عنه. ولما جاء إلى التلاميذ رأى جمعا كثيرا حوله وكتب يحاورونهم، وللوقت كل الجمع لما رأوه تحيروا وركضوا وسلموا عليهم. فسأل الكتب: ماذا تحاورونهم؟ فأجاب واحد من الجمع: يا معلم، لقد قدمت إليك ابني به روح أخرس، وحينما أدركه يمزقه فيزيد ويصر بأسنانه وييبس. فقلت لتلاميذك أن يخرجوا فلم يقدروا. قال لهم: أيها الجيل الغير مؤمن، إلى متى أكون معكم؟ إلى متى أحتملكم؟ قدموه إلي. فقدموه إليه، فلما رآه وللوقت سرعه الروح فوقع على الأرض يتمرغ ويزيد. فسأل أباه: كم من الزمان منذ أصاب هذا؟ فقال: منذ صباح، وكثيرا ما ألقاه في النار وفي الماء ليهلكه، لكن إن كنت تستطيع شيئا فتحنن علينا وأعنا. فقال له يسوع: إن كنت تستطيع أن تؤمن فكل شيء مستطاع للمؤمن. فللوقت صرخ أبو الولد بدموع وقال: أؤمن يا سيد، فأعن عدم إيمانه. فلما رأى يسوع أن الجمع يتركضون انتهر الروح النجس قائلا له: أيها الروح الأخرس الأصم، أن آمرك أخرج منه ولا تدخله أيضا. فصرخ وصرعهم شديدا وصرخ وخرج فصار كميت حتى قال كثيرون أنه مات. فأمسكه يسوع بيده وأقامه فقام. ولما دخل بيتا سأله تلاميذه عن انفراد لماذا لم نقدر نحن أن نخرجه؟ فقال لهم هذا الجنس لا يمكن أن يخرج بشيء إلا بالصلاة والصوم. وخرجوا من هناك واجتازوا الجليل ولم يرد أن يعلم أحدا لأنه كان يعلم تلاميذه ويقول لهم إن ابن الإنسان يسلم إلى أيدي الناس فيقتلونه وبعد أن يقتل يقوم في اليوم الثالث. وأما هم فلم يفهموا القول وخافوا أن يسألوه. وجاء إلى كفرنحوم وإذ كان في البيت فسألهم بماذا كنتم تتكلمون فيما بينكم في الطريق؟ فسكتوا لأنهم تحاجوا في الطريق بعضهم مع بعض من هو الأعظم. فجلس ونادى 12 وقال لهم إذا أراد أحد أن يكون أولا فيكون آخر الكل وخادما للكل. فأخذ ولدا وأقامه في وسطهم ثم احتضنه وقال لهم من قبل واحد من أولاد مثل هذا باسمي يقبلني ومن قبلني فليس يقبلني أنا بل الذي أرسلني. وقال يوحنا يا معلم رأينا واحدا يخرج الشياطين باسمك وهو ليس يتبعنا فمنعناه لأنه ليس يتبعنا. فقال يسوع لا تمنعوه لأنه ليس أحد يصنع قوة باسمي ويستطيع سريعا أن يقول علي شرا لأن من ليس علينا فهو معنا. لأن من سقاكم كأس ماء باسمي لأنكم للمسيح فالحق أقول لكم إنه لا يستطيع أجرهم. ومن أعصر أحد الصغار المؤمنين بي فخير له لو طوق عنقه بحجر رحى وطرح في البحر. وإن أعصرتك يدك فاقطعها. خير لك أن تدخل الحياة أقطع من أن يكون لك يدين وتمضي إلى جهنم إلى النار التي لا تطفأ حيث دودهم لا يموت والنار لا تطفأ. وإن أعصرتك رجلك فاقطعها. خير لك أن تدخل الحياة أعرج من أن تكون لك رجلان تطرح في جهنم في النار التي لا تطفأ حيث دودهم لا يموت والنار لا تطفأ. وإن أعصرتك عينك فاقلعها. خير لك أن تدخل الملكوت أعور من أن تكون لك عينان وتطرح في جهنم النار حيث دودهم لا يموت والنار لا تطفأ. لأن كل واحد يملح بنار كل ذبيحة ملح بملح. الملح جيد ولكن إذا صار ملح بلا ملوحة فبماذا تصلحونه؟ ليكن لكم في أنفسكم ملح وسالموا بعضكم بعضا.
Then he arose from there and came to a region called Judea, by the other side of Jordan. And the multitudes gathered to him again, and as he was accustomed, he taught them again. The Pharisees came and asked him, "Is it lawful for a man to divorce his wife?" testing him. And he answered and said to them, "What did Moses command you?" They said, "Moses permitted as a man to write a certificate of divorce and to dismiss her." And Jesus answered and said to them, "Because of the hardness of your heart, he wrote you this accept. But from the beginning of the creation, God made them male and female. For this reason, a man shall leave his father and mother and be joined to his wife, and the two small shall become one flesh. So then they no longer two, but one flesh. Therefore, what God has joined together, let not man separate." In the house of his disciples also asked him again about the same matter. So he said to them, "Whoever divorces his wife and marries another commits adultery against her. And if a woman divorces her husband and marries another, she commits adultery." Then they brought a little children to him, that he might touch them. But the disciples rebuked those who brought him. But When Jesus saw it, he was greatly displeased, and said to them, "Let the little children come to me, and do not forbid them, for of such is the kingdom of God. Surely I say to you, whoever does not receive the kingdom of God as a little child will by no means enter it." And he who took them up in his arms laid his hands on them and blessed them. Now as he was going out on the road, one came running, knelt before him, and asked him, "Good teacher, what shall I do that I may inherit the eternal life?" So Jesus said to him, "Why do you call me good? No one is good but one, that is God. You know the commandment, do not commit adultery, do not murder, do not steal, do not burden false witness, do not defraud, honor your father and mother." And he answered and said to him, "Teacher, all these things I have kept from my youth." Then Jesus, looking at him, and loved him, and said to him, "One thing you lack, go your own way, go and sell whatever you have, and give it to the poor, and you will have the treasure in heaven, and come take up the cross and follow me." But he was sad at his word, and went away sorrowful, for he had great possessions. When Jesus looked around and said to his disciples, "How hard is it for those who have riches to enter the kingdom of heaven?" And the disciples were astonished at his words. But Jesus answered again and said to them, "Children, how hard is it for those who trust in riches to enter the kingdom of God? Is it easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than a rich man to enter the kingdom of God?" And they were greatly astonished, saying among themselves, "Who then can be saved?" But Jesus looked at them and said, "With men it is impossible, but not with God. For God all things are possible." Then Peter began to say to him, "See, we have left all and followed you." So Jesus answered and said, "Surely I say to you, there is no one who has left a house, or brothers or sisters, or father or mother, or wife or children, or land for my sake and the gospel's, who shall not receive a hundredfold now in his time, house and brothers and sisters, and mother and children, and the land with persecution, and in the age of come eternal life. But many who are the first will be last, and the last will be first." Now they were on the road going up to Jerusalem, and Jesus was going before them, and they were amazed, and they followed. They were afraid. Then he took the 12 aside again and began to tell them things that would happen to them. "Behold, we are going up to Jerusalem, and the Son of Man will be betrayed to the chief priests and to the scribes, and they will condemn him to death and deliver him to the Gentiles. And they will mock him and encourage him to split on him and kill him. And on the third day he will rise again." Then James and John, the son of Zebedee, came to him, saying, "Teacher, we want you for us for whatever we ask." And he said to them, What do you want from me for you? They said to him, Grant us that we may sit one on the right hand and the other on the left in glory. But Jesus said to them, You do not know what you ask. Are you able to drink the cup that I drink and be baptized with the baptism that I baptized with? They said to him, We are able to. So Jesus said to them, You will indeed drink the cup that I will drink, and with the baptism that I baptized, with you will be baptized. But to sit on the right hand and the left is not mine to give, but it is for those whom is prepared. And when the 10 heard it, he began to be greatly displeased with John and James. But Jesus called them to himself and said to them, You know that those who are considered rulers over the Gentiles lord him all over them, and they great one exercise authority over them. Yet it shall not be among you, but whoever desires to become a great among you shall be your servant. And whoever of you desires to be the first shall be the slave of all. Even the Son of Man did not come to serve, but to serve and give his life a ransom for many. Now many came to Jericho. As he went out to Jericho with his disciples and a great multitude, blind Bartimaeus, the son of Timaeus, sat by the road begging. And when he heard that it was Jesus of Nazareth, he began to cry out and say, Jesus, the son of David, have mercy on me. Then many warned him to be quiet, but he cried out all the more, Son of David, have mercy on me. So Jesus stood still and commanded him to be called. Then they called the blind man, saying to him, Be good cheer, rise, he is calling you. And throwing aside his garment, he rose and came to Jesus. So Jesus answered and said to him, What do you want from me to do for you? And the blind man said to him, Rabbi, that I may receive my sight. Then Jesus said to him, Go your way, your faith has made you well. And immediately he received his sight and followed Jesus on the road.
ولما قربوا من أورشليم إلى بيت فاجي وبيت عنيا عند جبل الزيتون أرسل 2 من تلاميذه وقال لهما اذهبا إلى القرية التي أمامكما فالوقت أن أنتما داخلان إليها تجدان جحشا مربوطا لم يجلس عليه أحد من الناس فحلا وأتي به وإن قال لكم أحد لماذا تفعلان هذا فقول الرب محتاج إليه فللوقت يرسله إلى هنا فمضي ووجد الجحش مربوطا عند الباب خارجا على الطريق فحلاه قال لهم قوم من القيام هناك ماذا تفعلان تحلان الجحش فقال لهم كما أوصى يسوع فتركوهما فأتى بالجحش إلى يسوع وألقى عليه ثيابهما فجلس عليه وكثيرون فرشوا ثيابهم في الطريق وآخرون قضوا أغصانا من الشجر وفرشوها في الطريق والذين تقدموا والذين تبعوا كانوا يصرخون قائلين وصنع مبارك الآتي باسم الرب مباركة مملكة أبينا داود الآتية باسم الرب وصنا في الأعالي فدخل يسوع أورشليم والهيكل ولما نظر حوله إلى كل شيء إذ كان الوقت قد أمسى خرج إلى بيت عنيا مع 12 وفي الغد لما خرجوا من بيت عنيا جاع ونظر شجرة تين من بعيد عليها ورق وجاء لعله يجد فيها شيئا فلما جاء إليه لم يجد شيئا إلا ورقا لأنه لم يكن وقت التين. وقال يسوع لها لا يأكل أحد منك ثمرا بعد إلى الأبد. وكان تلاميذه يسمعون. وجاءوا إلى أورشليم ولما دخل يسوع الهيكل ابتدأ يخرج الذين كانوا يبيعون ويشترون في الهيكل وقلب موائد الصيارفة وكراسي باعة الحمام. ولم يدع أحد يجتاز الهيكل بمتاع. وكان يعلم قائلا لهم أليس مكتوبا بيت الصلاة يرى لجميع الأمم وأنتم جعلتموه مغارة للصوص. وسمع الكتبة ورؤساء الكهنة فطلبوا كيف يهلكون لأنهم خافوا إذ بهت الجامع كله من تعليمه. ولما صار المساء خرج إلى خارج المدينة وفي الصباح إذ كان مجتازين رأوا التين قد يبست من الأصول. فتذكر بولس وقال له يا سيدي انظر التين التي لعنتها قد يبست. فجاب يسوع ليكن لكم إيمان بالله لأني الحق أقول لكم إن من قال هذا الجبل انتقل وطرح في البحر ولا يشك في قلبه بل يؤمن إن ما يقول له يكون فمهما قال يكون له. لذلك أقول لكم كل ما تطلبون حينما تصلون فأمنوا إن تنالوه فيكون لكم. ومتى وقفتم تصلون فاغفروا إن كان لكم على أحد شيء لكي يغفر لكم أيضا أبوكم الذي في السماوات زلاتكم. وإن لم تغفروا أنتم لا يغفر أبوكم الذي في السماوات أيضا زلاتكم. وجاءوا أيضا إلى أورشليم وفيما هو يمشي في الهيكل أقبل إليه رؤساء الكهنة والكتبة والشيوخ وقالوا لها بأي سلطان تفعل هذا ومن أعطاك هذا السلطان حتى تفعل هذا. فجاب يسوع وأنا أيضا أسألكم كلمة واحدة أجيبوني فأقول لكم بأي سلطان أفعل هذا. معمودية يوحنا من السماء كانت أم من الناس أجيبوني. ففكروا في أنفسهم قائلين إن قلنا من السماء يقول فلماذا لم تؤمنوا به وإن قلنا من الناس فخافوا الشعب لأن يوحنا كان عند الجميع أنه بالحقيقة نبي. فجابوا لا نعلم. فقال يسوع ولا أنا أقول لكم بأي سلطان أفعل هذا.
Then he began to speak to them in parables. A man planted a vineyard and set a hedge around it, dug a place for the wine vat and built a tower, and he leased it to a vine dresser and went into a far country. Now at vintage time he sent a servant to the vine dressers that he might receive some of the fruit of the vineyard from the vine dressers. And they took him and beat him and sent him away empty-handed. Again he sent to them another servant, and at him they threw stones, wounded him in the head and sent him away shamefully treated. And again he sent another, and him they killed, and many others, beating some and killing some. Therefore, still having one son, his beloved, he also sent him to them last, saying, they will respect my son. But those vine dressers said amongst themselves, this is the heir. Come, let us kill him, and the inheritance will be ours. So they took him and killed him and cast him out of the vineyard. Therefore, what will the owner of the vineyard do? He will come and destroy the vine dressers and give the vineyard to others. Have you not even read this scripture? The stone which the builders rejected has become the chief cornerstone. This was the Lord's doing, and it is marvelous in our eyes. And they sought to lay hands on him, but feared the multitude, for they knew he had spoken the parable against them. So they left him and went away. Then they sent to him some of the Pharisees and the Herodians to catch him in his words. When they had come, they said to him, Teacher, we know that you are true and care about no one, for you do not regard the person of men, but teach the way of God in truth. Is it lawful to pay taxes to Caesar or not? Shall we pay or shall we not pay? But he, knowing their hypocrisy, said to them, Why do you test me? Bring me a denarius that I may see it. So they brought it. And he said to them, Whose image and inscription is this? They said to him, Caesar's. And Jesus answered and said to them, Render to Caesar the things that are Caesar's, and to God the things that are God's. And they marveled at him. Then some Sadducees who say there is no resurrection came to him, and they asked him, Teacher, Moses wrote to us that if a man's brother dies and leaves his wife behind and leaves no children, his brother should take his wife and raise up offspring for his brother. Now there were 7 brothers. The first took a wife, and dying he left no offspring. And the second took her, and he died, nor did he leave any offspring. And the third likewise. So the 7 had her and left no offspring. Last of all, the woman died also. Therefore, in the resurrection, when they rise, whose wife will she be? For all 7 had her as wife. Jesus answered to them and said, Are you not therefore mistaken, because you do not know the Scriptures nor the power of God? For when they rise from the dead, they neither marry nor are given in marriage, but are like angels in heaven. But concerning the dead that they rise, have you not read in the book of Moses, in the burning bush passage, how God spoke to him, saying, I am the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob? He is not the God of the dead, but the God of the living. You are therefore greatly mistaken. Then one of the scribes came, having heard them reasoning together, perceiving that he had answered them well, and asked him, Which is the first commandment of all? Jesus answered to him and said, The first of all the commandments is, Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one. And you shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind, and with all your strength. This is the first commandment. And the second, like it, is this: You shall love your neighbor as yourself. There is no other commandment greater than these. So the scribe said to him, Well said, teacher, you have spoken the truth, for there is one God, and there is no other but He. And to love Him with all the heart, with all the understanding, with all the soul, and with all the strength, and to love one's neighbor as oneself, is more than all the whole burnt offerings and sacrifices. Now when Jesus saw that he answered them wisely, he said to him, You are not far from the kingdom of God. But after that, no one dared to question him. Then Jesus answered and said, while he taught in the temple, How is it that the scribes say that the Christ is the son of David? For David himself said by the Holy Spirit, The Lord said to my Lord, Sit at my right hand, till I make your enemies your footstool. Therefore David himself calls him Lord. How is he then his son? And the common people heard him gladly. Then he said to them in his teaching, Beware of the scribes who desire to go around in long robes, love greetings in marketplaces, the best seats in the synagogues, and the best places at feasts, who devour widows' houses, and for a pretense make longer prayers. These will receive greater condemnation. Now Jesus sat opposite the treasury and saw how the people put the money into the treasury, and many who were rich put in much. Then one poor widow came in and threw 2 mites, which makes a quadrans. So then he called his disciples to himself and said to them, Assuredly I say to you that this poor widow has put in more than all those who have given to the treasury, for they all put in out of their abundance, but she out of her poverty put in all that she had, her whole livelihood.
وفيما هو خارج من الهيكل قال له واحد من تلاميذه يا معلم انظر ما هذه الحجارة وهذه الأبنية. فأجاب يسوع أتنظر هذه الأبنية العظيمة لا يترك حجر على حجر لا ينقض. وفيما هو جالس على جبل الزيتون تجاه الهيكل سأله بطرس ويعقوب ويوحنا وأندراوس على انفراد قل لنا متى يكون هذا وما هي العلامة عندما يتم جميع هذا. فأجابهم يسوع انظروا لا يضلكم أحد فإن كثيرين سيأتون باسمي قائلين إني أنا هو ويضلون كثيرين. فإذا سمعتم بحروب وبأخبار حروب فلا ترتاعوا لأنها لابد أن تكون ولكن ليس المنتهى بعد. لأنها تقوم أمة على أمة ومملكة على مملكة وتكون زلازل وفي أماكن وتكون مجاعات واضطرابات. هذه مبتدأ الأوجاع. فانظروا إلى نفوسكم لأنهم سيسلمونكم إلى مجالس وتجلدون في مجامع وتوقفون أمام ولاة وملوك من أجل شهادة لهم. وينبغي أن يكرز أولا بالإنجيل في جميع الأمم. فمتى ساقوكم ليسلموكم فلا تعتنوا من قبل بما تتكلمون ولا تهتموا بل مهما أعطيتم في تلك الساعة فبذلك تكلموا لأن لستم أنتم المتكلمين بل الروح القدس. وسيسلم الأخ أخاه إلى الموت والأب ولده ويقوم الأولاد على والديهم ويقتلونهم وتكونون مبغضين من الجميع من أجل اسمي ولكن الذي يصبر إلى المنتهى فهذا يخلص. فمتى نظرتم ركسة الخراب التي قال عنها دانيال النبي قائمة حيث لا ينبغي ليفهم القارئ فحينئذ ليهرب الذين في اليهودية إلى الجبال، والذي على السطح فلا ينزل إلى البيت ولا يدخل ليأخذ من بيته شيئا، والذي في الحقل لا يرجع إلى الوراء ليأخذ ثوبه. وويل للحبالة والمرضعات في تلك الأيام. وصلوا لكي لا يكون هرابكم في شتاء، لأنه يكون في تلك الأيام ضيق لم يكن مثله منذ ابتداء الخليقة التي خلقها الله إلى الآن ولن يكون. ولو لم يقصر الرب تلك الأيام لم يخلص جسد، ولكن لأجل المختارين الذين اختارهم قصر الأيام. حينئذ إن قال لكم أحد هو ذا المسيح هنا أو هو ذا هناك فلا تصدقوا، لأنه سيقوم مسحاء كذبة وأنبياء كذبة ويعطون آيات وعجائب لكي يضلوا لو أمكن المختارين أيضا. فانظروا أنتم، ها أنا قد سبقت وأخبرتكم بكل شيء. وأما في تلك الأيام بعد ذلك الضيق فالشمس تظلم والقمر لا يعطي ضوءه ونجوم السماء تتساقط والقوات التي في السماوات تتزعزع. وحينئذ يبصرون ابن الإنسان آتيا في سحاب بقوة كثيرة ومجد، فيرسل حينئذ ملائكته ويجمع مختاريه من الأربع رياح من أقصاء الأرض إلى أقصاء السماء. فمن شجرة التين تعلموا المثل، متى صار غصنها رخصا وأخرجت أوراقا تعلمون أن الصيف قريب. هكذا أنتم أيضا متى رأيتم هذه الأشياء صائرة فاعلموا أنه قريب على الأبواب. الحق أقول لكم لا يمضي هذا الجيل حتى يكون هذا كله. السماء والأرض تزولان ولكن كلامي لا يزول. وأما ذلك اليوم وتلك الساعة فلا يعلم بهما أحد ولا الملائكة الذين في السماء ولا الابن إلا الآب. انظروا اسهروا وصلوا لأنكم لا تعلمون متى يكون الوقت. كأنما إنسان مسافر ترك بيته وأعطى عبيده السلطان ولكل واحد عمله وأوصى البواب أن يسهر. اسهروا إذن لأنكم لا تعلمون متى يأتي رب البيت، أمساء أم نصف الليل أم صياح الديك أم صباحا، لئلا يأتي بغتة فيجدكم نياما. وما أقول لكم أقوله للجميع، اسهروا.
After 2 days it was Passover and the feast of unleavened bread, and the chief priests and the scribes sought how they might take him by trickery and put him to death. But they said, not during the feast, lest there be an uproar of the people. And being in Bethany at the house of Simon the leper, and he sat at the table, a woman came having an alabaster flask of very costly oil of spikenard. Then she broke the flask and poured it on his head. But there were some who were indignant among themselves and said, why was this fragrant oil wasted? For it might have been sold for more than 300 denarii and given to the poor. And they criticized her sharply. But Jesus said, let her alone. Why do you trouble her? She has done a good work for me. For you have the poor with you always, and whenever you wish you may do them good. But me you do not have always. She has done what she could. She has come beforehand to appoint my body for burial. Assuredly I say to you, wherever this gospel is preached in the whole world, what this woman has done will also be told as a memorial to her. Then Judas Iscariot, one of the 12, went to the chief priests to betray him to them. And when they heard it, they were glad and promised to give him money. So he sought how he might conveniently betray him. Now on the first day of unleavened bread, when they killed the Passover lamb, his disciples said to him, where do you want us to go and prepare that you may eat the Passover? And he sent out 2 of his disciples and said to them, go into the city, and a man will meet you carrying a pitcher of water, follow him. Wherever he goes in, say to the master of the house, the teacher says, where is the guest room in which I may eat the Passover with my disciples? Then he will show you a large upper room, furnished and prepared. There make ready for us. So his disciples went out and came into the city, and found it just as he had said to them, and they prepared the Passover. In the evening he came with the 12. Now as they sat and ate, Jesus said, assuredly I say to you, one of you who eats with me will betray me. And they began to be sorrowful and to say to him, one by one, is it I? And another said, is it I? And he answered and said to them, it is one of the 12 who dips with me in the dish. The Son of Man indeed goes just as it is written of him, but woe to the man by whom the Son of Man is betrayed. It would have been good for that man if he had never been born. And as they were eating, Jesus took bread, blessed and broke it, and gave it to them and said, take, eat, this is my body. Then he took the cup, and when he had given thanks, he gave it to them, and they drank from it. And he said to them, this is my blood of the new covenant, which is shed for many. Assuredly I say to you, I will no longer drink of the fruit of the vine until that day when I drink in kingdom of God. And when they had sung a hymn, they went out to the Mount of Olives. Then Jesus said to them, "All of you will be made to stumble because of me this night, for it is written, I will strike the shepherd, and the sheep will be scattered. But after I have been raised, I will go before you to Galilee." Peter said to him, "Even if all are made to stumble, yet I will not be." Jesus said to him, "Assuredly I say to you today, even this night before the rooster crows twice, you will deny me 3 times. But he spoke more vehemently, If I have to die with you, I will not deny you." And they all said likewise. Then they came to a place which was named Gethsemane, and he said to his disciples, "Sit here while I pray." And he took Peter, James, and John with him, and he began to be troubled and deeply distressed. Then he said to them, "My soul is exceedingly sorrowful, even to death. Stay here and watch." He went a little further and fell on the ground and prayed that if it were possible, the hour might pass from him. And he said, "Abba, Father, all things are possible for you. Take this cup away from me, nevertheless not what I will, but what you will." Then he came and found them sleeping, and said to Peter, "Simon, are you sleeping? Could you not watch 1 hour? Watch and pray, lest you enter into temptation. The spirit indeed is willing, but the flesh is weak." And he went away and prayed and spoke the same words. And when he returned, he found them asleep again, for their eyes were heavy, and they did not know what to answer him. Then he came a 3rd time and said to them, "Are you still sleeping and resting? It is enough, the hour has come. Behold, the Son of Man is being betrayed into the hands of sinners. Rise, let us be going. See, my betrayer is at hand." And immediately, while he was still speaking, Judas, one of the 12, with a great multitude with swords and clubs, came from the chief priests and the scribes and the elders. Now his betrayer had given them a signal, saying, "Whomever I kiss, he is the one. Seize him and lead him away safely." As soon as he had come, immediately he went up to him and said to him, "Rabbi, Rabbi," and kissed him. Then they laid their hands on him and took him. And one of those who stood by drew his sword and struck the servant of the high priest and cut off his ear. Then Jesus answered and said to them, "Have you come out as against a robber with swords and clubs to take me? I was daily with you in the temple teaching, and you did not seize me, but the scriptures must be fulfilled." Then they all forsook him and fled. Now a certain young man followed him, having a linen cloth thrown around his naked body, and the young man laid hold of him. And he left the linen cloth and fled from them naked. And they led Jesus away to the high priest, and with him were assembled all the chief priests, the elders, and the scribes. But Peter followed him at a distance, right into the courtyard of the high priest, and he sat with the servants and warmed himself at the fire. Now the chief priests and all the council sought testimony against Jesus to put him to death, but found none. For many bore false witness against him, but their testimonies did not agree. Then some rose up and bore false witness against him, saying, "We heard him say, I will destroy the temple made with hands, and within 3 days I will build another made without hands." But not even then did their testimony agree. And the high priest stood up in the midst and asked Jesus, saying, "Do you answer nothing? What is it these men testify against you?" But he kept silent and answered nothing. Again the high priest asked him, saying to him, "Are you the Christ, the Son of the Blessed?" Jesus said, "I am, and you will see the Son of Man sitting at the right hand of the power and coming with clouds of heaven." Then the high priest tore his clothes and said, "What further need do we have of witnesses? You have heard the blasphemy. What do you think?" And they all condemned him to be deserving of death. Then some began to spit on him, and to blindfold him, and to beat him, and to say to him, "Prophesy." And the officers struck him with the palms of their hands. Now as Peter was below in the courtyard, one of the servant girls of the high priest came. And when she saw Peter warming himself, she looked at him and said, You also were with Jesus of Nazareth." But he denied it, saying, "I neither know nor understand what you are saying." And he went out on the porch, and a rooster crowed. And the servant girl saw him again, and began to say to those who stood by, "This is one of them." But he denied it again. And a little later, those who stood by said to Peter again, "Surely you are one of them, for you are Galilean, and your speech shows it." Then he began to curse and swear, "I do not know this man of whom you speak." A second time the rooster crowed. Then Peter called to mind the word that Jesus said to him, "Before the rooster crows twice, you will deny me 3 times." And when he thought about it, he wept.
وللوقت في الصباح تشاور رؤساء الكهنة والشيوخ والكتبة والمجمع كله فأوثقوا يسوع ومضوا به وأسلموه إلى بيلاطس. فسأله بيلاطس: أنت ملك اليهود؟ فأجاب: أنت تقول. وكان رؤساء الكهنة يشتكون عليه كثيرا. فسأله بيلاطس أيضا: أما تجيب بشيء؟ انظر كم يشهدون عليك. فلم يجب يسوع أيضا بشيء حتى تعجل بيلاطس، وكان يطلق لهم في كل عيد أسيرا واحدا من طلبوه، وكان مسمى باراباس موثقا مع رفاقه في الفتنة الذين في الفتنة فعلوا قتلا. فصرخ الجمع وابتدأوا يطلبون أن يفعل كما كان دائما يفعل لهم. فأجابهم بيلاطس: أتريدون أن أطلق لكم ملك اليهود؟ لأنه عرف أن رؤساء الكهنة كانوا قد أسلموه حسدا. فهيج رؤساء الكهنة الجمع لكي يطلق لهم بالحري باراباس. فسأل بيلاطس: فبماذا تريدون أن أفعل بالذي تدعونه ملك اليهود؟ فصرخوا أيضا: اصلبه. فسألهم بيلاطس: وأي شيء عمل؟ فازدادوا جدا صراخا: اصلبه. فبيلاطس إذ كان يريد أن يعمل للجميع ما يرضيهم أطلق لهم باراباس، وأسلم يسوع بعدما جلده ليصلب. فمضى به العسكر إلى داخل الدار التي هي دار الولاية، وجمعوا كل كتيبة وألبسوه أرجوانا وضفروا أكليلا من شوك ووضعوه عليه، وابتدأوا يسلمون عليه قائلين: السلام يا ملك اليهود. وكانوا يضربونه على رأسه بقصبة ويبصقون عليه، ثم يسجدون له جاثين على ركبهم. وبعدما استهزأوا به نزعوا عنه الأرجوان وألبسوه ثيابه، ثم خرجوا به ليصلبوه. فسخروا رجلا مجتازا كان آتيا من الحقل، وهو سمعان القيرواني أبو ألكسندروس ورفس، ليحمل صليبه. وجاءوا به إلى موضع جلجثة الذي تفسيره موضع جمجمة، وأعطوه خمرا ممزوجة بمر ليشرب، فلم يقبل. ولما صلبوه واقتسموا ثيابه مقترعين عليها ماذا يأخذ كل واحد منهم. وكانت الساعة 3 فصلبوه، وكان عنوان علته مكتوبا: ملك اليهود. وصلبوا معه للصين، واحدا عن يمينه وآخر عن يساره. فتم الكتاب القائل: وأحصي مع أثمة. وكان مجتازون يجدفون عليه وهم يهزون رؤوسهم قائلين: يا ناقض الهيكل وبنيه في 3 أيام، خلص نفسك وانزل عن الصليب. وكذلك رؤساء الكهنة هم مستهترون به فيما بينهم مع الكتبة، قالوا: خلص آخرين وأما نفسه فلم يقدر أن يخلصها. لينزل الآن المسيح ملك لإسرائيل عن الصليب لنرى ونؤمن. والذين صلب معه كانوا يعاينونه. فلما كانت الساعة 6 كانت ظلمة على الأرض كلها إلى الساعة 9. وفي الساعة 9 صرخ يسوع بصوت عظيم قائلا: إلوي إلوي لما شبقتني، الذي تفسيره: إلهي إلهي لما تركتني. فقال قوم من الحاضرين لما سمعوا: هوذا ينادي إيليا. فركض واحد منهم وملأ إسفنجة خلا وجعلها على قصبة وسقاه قائلا: اتركوا لنرى هل يأتي إيليا لينزلهم. فصرخ يسوع بصوت عظيم وأسلم الروح، وانشق حجاب الهيكل إلى 2 من فوق إلى أسفل. ولما رأى قائد المئة الواقف مقابلة له إنه صرخ هكذا وأسلم الروح، قال: حقا كان هذا الإنسان ابن الله. وكانت أيضا نساء ينظرن من بعيد، بينهن مريم المجدلية ومريم أم يعقوب الصغير ويوسي وسالومة، واللواتي أيضا تبعنه وخدمنه حين كان في الجليل، وأخر كثيرات اللواتي صعدنا معه إلى أورشليم. ولما كان المساء إذ كان الاستعداد أي ما قبل السبت، جاء يوسف الذي من الرامة بشيرا شريفا، وكان هو أيضا منتظر ملكوت الله، فتجاسر ودخل إلى بيلاطس وطلب جسد يسوع. فتعجب بيلاطس إنه مات كذا سريعا، فدعا قائد المئة وسأله: هل له زمان قد مات؟ ولما عرف من قائد المئة وهب جسد يوسف، فاشترى كتانا فأنزله وكفنه بالكتان، وضعه في قبر كان منحوتا في صخرة، ودحرج عليه حجرا على باب القبر. وكانت مريم المجدلية ومريم أم يوسي تنظران إلى أين وضع.
وبعدما مضى السبت اشترت مريم المجدلية ومريم أم يعقوب وسالومة حنوطا ليأتين ويدنهم. وباكرا جدا في أول الأسبوع أتينا إلى القبر إذ طلعت الشمس، وكنا يكون فيما يبيعهن: من يدحرج لنا الحجر عن باب القبر؟ فتطلعنا ورأينا أن الحجر قد دحرج لأنه كان عظيما جدا. ولما دخلنا القبر رأينا شابا جالسا عن اليمين لابسا حلة بيضاء فاندهشنا، وقال لهن: لا تندهشن، أنتن تطلبن يسوع الناصري المصلوب، قد قام وليس هو ها هنا، هو ذا الموضع الذي وضعوه فيه. لكن اذهبنا وقلنا لتلاميذه ولبطرس: إنه سيسبقكم إلى الجليل، هناك ترونه كما قال لكم. فخرجنا سريعا وهربنا من القبر، لأن الرعدة والحيرة أخذتهن، ولم يقلن لأحد شيئا لأنهن كنا خائفات. وبعدما قام باكرا في أول الأسبوع ظهر أولا لمريم المجدلية التي كان قد أخرج منها 7 شياطين. فذهبت هذه وأخبرت الذين كانوا معه وهم ينوحون ويبكون. فلما سمع أولئك أنه حي وقد نظرته ولم يصدقوا. وبعد ذلك ظهر بهيئة أخرى ل2 منهم وهم يمشيان منطلقين إلى البرية. وذهب هذان أخبر الباقين فلم يصدقوا ولا هذين. أخيرا ظهر ل11 وهم متكئون، ووبخ عدم إيمانهم وقساوة قلوبهم لأنهم لم يصدقوا الذين نظروا قد قام. وقال لهم: اذهبوا إلى العالم أجمع واكرزوا بالأنجيل للخليقة كلها، من آمن واعتمد خلص، ومن لم يؤمن يدن. وهذه الآيات تتبع المؤمنين: يخرجون الشياطين باسمي ويتكلمون بألسنة جديدة، يحملون حيات، وإن شربوا شيئا مميتا لا يضرهم، ويضعون أيديهم على المرضى فيبرؤون. ثم أن الرب بعدما كلمهم ارتفع إلى السماء وجلس عن يمين الله. وأما هم فخرجوا وكرزوا في كل مكان، والرب يعمل معهم ويثبت الكلام بالآيات التابعة. آمين.
Pray with hymns Thokte Tigom, Kevertu, and read prophecies and gospels and receive many blessings of Paschal hours. See you soon in evening Pascha. لربنا المجد دائما أبدين والأمين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.